Celtics Heat, Clippers Warriors, Wednesday on ESPN.
Welcome to Miami Gardens, Florida, and welcome to the Capital One Orange Bowl. Two teams that certainly earned the right to be here tonight. The last time we saw North Carolina on this very field here at Hard Rock Stadium, they were throttling the Miami Hurricanes. Their reward tonight, they take on one of the most physical teams in college football. Here come the number 5 ranked Texas A&M Aggies, who finished the season in dominant fashion. A 7-game win streak to close out the year for Texas A&M in the SEC. Led by a very experienced quarterback, number 11, Kellen Mond, and one of the best play callers in America, Jimbo Fisher. How did this season start, and how is it going for a Texas A&M Aggies team? Well, it was underwhelming at the beginning of this year. Only a 5-point win over Vanderbilt, and of course a loss to Alabama. But then the script flipped. A game-winning field goal and possibly a season, if not a program-defining win against Florida, and then wins on the road against Auburn and Tennessee to close out that 7-game win streak and earn their way to the Capital One Orange Bowl tonight. Hi again, everyone. Bob Wischusen here with Dan Orlovsky. Katie George will join us in just a moment. This is an Aggies team that when the top 4 were announced, they were, and probably rightfully so, disappointed.
Look at you, in touch with pop culture and that how it started, how it's going graphic. They feel like they should have been one of those 4 teams that played yesterday. All right, so here's your opportunity. The Capital One Orange Bowl to prove that your case was legit. You've got the makings of a playoff team, dominant defense, quarterback that's been there and done that, one of the best run games in college football, and a coach who's won a national championship. But Bob, you know this. We've seen 5 seeds come out and lay an egg. We've also seen 5 seeds come out and make a statement. Tonight just feels like the opportunity for Texas A&M to make a statement.
And Katie, how excited are they to play this game tonight?
Well, they're thrilled, Bob, which is a different emotion than they felt a couple of weeks ago. Kellen Mond told me he was extremely disappointed when his team was left on the outside looking in on December 20th. He believed that they had done enough to get into the college football playoffs. Now, he applauded the maturity of this team, though. He says they moved past it quickly. The number 5 next to their name did not affect the way they prepared for this game, and he says it will certainly not affect the way they play here tonight. The Aggies want to make a statement, Bob, here in Miami. That statement being they finish what they start, no matter the ranking next to their name.
And they've got such a security blanket at quarterback in Kellen Mond. The same could also be said for North Carolina, though, with Sam Howell.
Sam Howell is probably one of the best quarterbacks in college football that America just hasn't had the opportunity to see play a ton. I can tell you this, one of the prettiest and best deep ball throwers in America. He's going to be without some talent around him tonight. Even then, he's very excited and he's confident. He's got to be very smart with how he plays the game, though. Don't try and do too much. That's got to be a focus on him, especially early on, is some of those guys that are going to play a little bit more tonight, give them the opportunity to impact the football game and try not to be a superhero.
And Katie, how about a read on his emotions? You caught up with Sam Howell this week.
Well, Sam Howell will be the first person to raise his hand and say, hey, I've gotten us into some trouble this season trying to do too much. Without some of his key playmakers, he understands the importance of having patience and trust in his other teammates. I asked him if he feels any added pressure not having those guys out there. He said no. If anything, he's excited for the challenge. Howell says this UNC offense feels disrespected as people continue to talk about the opt-outs and not the guys who are playing in this game. So Sam Howell is coming into this with a large chip on his shoulder with something to prove.
To be fair, though, this is a lot of production for them to be without tonight.
Yeah, this is a big-time offense that's missing 3 big-time players. 2 backs that can kind of do everything. Run the ball with speed and power and also be great pass catchers. And then De'Ami Brown is one of the best vertical threats in college football. So who steps up? Well, Daz Newsome, one of their other playmakers at wide receiver. He's got to have a really big night. Really before the snap, getting himself open, but also when he gets the ball in his hands, just being super creative. And then some young receivers, Joffrey Brown, De'Ami Brown's little brother. Can he step forward and take advantage of an opportunity? And Antoine Green. So this is an offense that relies on its playmakers, and they're going to need some young players to go, this is my huge opportunity in a huge bowl game. Let me shine.
Well, North Carolina won the toss, and they have deferred their option to the second half. So it'll be Kellen Mond, the Maroon Goons, and A&M to start with the football. Grayson Atkins has it teed up. And we are set to go. Check that, Noah Ruggles will be kicking it off for North Carolina. And the Capital One Orange Bowl is underway. This will go through the back of the end zone, and it will come out to the 25-yard line for Kellen Mond, who is racking up record after record and etching his name forever in the record books in College Station.
He said tonight gives them the opportunity to stamp their names as one of, if not the best, Texas A&M team ever. A guy that does so much before the snap as a quarterback, gets his team into perfect plays. Jimbo Fisher referencing he's loved the fact that it's not just playing well, it's the preparation to play well that means the most to Kellen Mond.
Isaiah Spiller, the tailback, and a wide receiver to either side. And keep your eyes on number 85, Jalen Weidermeyer at tight end. They're going to run right behind him. And Spiller spins forward for about 3. Tamon Fox with the game's first tackle. And let's take a look at tonight's Chick-fil-A impact players.
And for Texas A&M offensively, it's their tight end, Jalen Weidermeyer, 3rd in the country in catches. He can be a 6th offensive lineman. He could be a 4th wide receiver. Great versatility. And then for Carolina defensively, Raymond Vahasek. He's got one of the best offensive lines in the country he's going against tonight. He's got to hold the point on some double teams.
There goes Aniyah Smith in motion. Spiller once again. Just pushes the pile for about 3, maybe 4 more. It will be 3rd down and 3.
A&M lives in 3rd and 3. I mean, this is what this offense is. It's good first down, efficient play. Good second down, efficient play. And then 3rd down and 3, you can do so much. You can throw the ball, find a matchup one-on-one. You can continue to use your run game. It's important for Kellen Mond to not get confused with this multiple and constantly moving Carolina defense.
In motion. Here comes a blitz. And a little pop pass over the middle. Incomplete, intended for Aniyah Smith. So it's a 3 and out for the Aggies.
There's a little bit of that confusion that shows off for North Carolina's defense. Something before the snap. Here's the picture after the snap. We change it, bring some pressure and drop a guy to the person you want to throw the ball to. Outstanding start getting off the field in a 3 and out.
Nick Constantino is a Ray Guy semifinalist this season, so he is a field position changing threat at punter. And Daz Newsome back to receive, number 1 in the ACC in punt return yards this season. So it's an interesting chess match if Constantino can keep it away from Newsome. And he will force a fair catch here, all the way back inside the 20-yard line. So our first opportunity to see Sam Howell. Last season, record-setting 38 touchdown passes and a freshman All-American year. And this year, not too bad. In year number 2, 27 touchdown passes against only 6 interceptions.
Yeah, I love the way he plays football. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in America when it comes to navigating the pocket. For him tonight, be aggressive, but not greedy. You can still be aggressive with the football, but do not force it into areas that are unnecessary, especially early on.
And it's British Brooks that gets the start at tailback. Again, no Michael Carter, no Javonte Williams. And here's Brooks, tripped up behind the line by DeMarvin Leal. And what a season he's had.
DeMarvin Leal is this young, up-and-coming, dominant defensive end that, like, physically he's incredible. But he's starting to really understand the nuance of football and how to play D-line and some of the technique. And that's what's really allowed this surge over the last month of him becoming almost unblockable.
Al over the middle, tries to squeeze one into his tight end, Garrett Walston. And they'll give him the catch to the 20-yard line. Gets back about 4, makes it 3rd down and 8.
Important from Sam Howell in North Carolina tonight, 3rd down. Something A&M does so well defensively. Don't get overwhelmed, and you've got to be great across the line of scrimmage and at tailback with your communication.
The ruling on the field of a completed pass is under further review.
So not sure Walston held onto the football. We'll step aside.
Gifts for elves, check. Now just in the
Welcome back to the Capital One Orange Bowl. Bob Wischusen, Dan Orlovsky, Katie George. Quick trip to the replay booth, and it was quick. They've already made the announcement. You can see a very clear incomplete pass for Garrett Walston. So that will now wipe away the 4-yard completion and back up North Carolina to their own 16-yard line to make it 3rd down and 12.
Before we went to break, talking about Carolina's offense, do not get overwhelmed with the pressure package, and you've got to communicate. Everybody's got to be on the same page.
They go empty. A&M shows a 5-man rush. And now flags fly. This will be a false start and back Carolina up even further.
False start. Offense, number 68. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
How much uncertainty is there tonight, just in general, with this North Carolina offense from Mack Brown's group when you're without these 3 skill guys and maybe a little antsy in a false start?
Yeah, a ton, because those skill guys, you knew what they could do, right? You could craft stuff around it. The players they're going to play in their places, you're still trying to figure out in a game what those guys are actually capable of executing.
Now on 3rd down and 17, it's just a 3-man rush. Floats one, and it's going to be intercepted. Trey White into the red zone for Texas A&M. There is a flag down on the far side of the field.
Sideline interference, Texas A&M. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. 1st down and 10. A&M.
So the interception stands, but this is going to back A&M up 15 yards.
Watch the nose tackle, 92, Jaden Peavy. Watch him get his left arm up right there. And that ball just forces that hand up in the air, just forces that little bit of a throw that's high from Sam Howell right into Andre White's hands. That pressure from Texas A&M, only a 3-man rush, but Peavy getting that hand up there and Sam Howell not really finishing that throw. Sails that ball a little bit to those zone droppers underneath. 3rd and forever. Early turnover for this A&M defense. This is a moment where Jimbo Fisher loves to take shots, loves to try to be aggressive and take a play-action shot.
Tight end stacked to the near side left. The front man is Weidermeyer, and they'll run it instead with Spiller. And a good pop on 1st down to the 22-yard line. That's a 6-yard gain. Isaiah Spiller, number 3 in the SEC, nearly 110 rushing yards per game this year.
Yeah, and he's really good in the inside zone game. You know, getting that ball downhill, kind of in between the guard and the tackle, and with their offensive line getting push initially and then his vision, seeing the 2nd level, it's a great combination for their run game.
Spiller again. Inside the 20 down to about the 19-yard line, a yard shy of a 1st down. And you mentioned, Dan, they live in 3rd down and 3 or less. That's why they're 2nd in America in 3rd down conversions.
Yeah, a big part of it is Kellen Mond does a great job of getting them into not just getting out of bad plays, but ideal plays. He's patient. If you're going to play too high safety, they'll pound the football, and their offensive line never hurts them. This is a team that doesn't give up a lot of negative plays. He's only been sacked 4 times this year. So it's this kind of churning out your offense 3 yards in a cloud of dust philosophy.
Nia Smith lines up as the fullback, Spiller as the tailback, and sometimes they'll flip 1st down.
I think a big thing tonight for North Carolina defensively, and their defensive coordinator Jay Bateman, be patient. You got to be disciplined. Sometimes that 4 or 5 yard run is going to happen. You see the great push by Dan Moore, Kenyon Green, and Ryan McCullum, that left side of that offensive line, and then the heart, McCullum at center, just getting that push. But you got to be patient and don't sell out too much against this Texas A&M offense.
Spiller shakes and bakes to the 16-yard line. Jeremiah Gimmel made the stop. And Jeremiah Gimmel, for the first time in his career, not starting alongside Chaz Surratt. He's got Eugene Asante as his middle of the field mate at inside linebacker. And Asante, according to Jay Bateman, the defensive coordinator, he's like that new breed of linebacker, right? 210 pounds and can run like the wind.
Yeah, burst through the football. It's important for them to try to keep hands off of him tonight, though. He's got great speed, but 280 pounds, 290 pounds leaning on him is not his game.
On to throw. On the slant, incomplete, looking for Hezekiah Jones. So a big play coming up here. 3rd down and 8 in the red zone.
So last 3rd down, it was a little bit 3rd and short, and they brought pressure from the inside and dropped somebody out to the tailback for Texas A&M's offense. And I said, you know, for Kellen Mond, it's super important for him to make sure he doesn't get confused. Don't buy what Carolina's defense is trying to sell you before the snap. They'll show you, hey, our safeties are going to be over here. Here comes this, and then all of a sudden it's a different picture. So he's got to make sure he sees his safety rotation after the ball gets snapped.
Play clock under 5. Here comes a blitz off the edge. On throws behind it. Spiller hauls it in. He's dropped by Asante. About a yard shy of the 1st down, makes it 4th down and 1. And I think without hesitation, Jimbo Fisher says we're going for it. He's bringing in some fullbacks, some extra tight ends. And now we've got an injured player. That's Tamari Fox. So now a chance for Texas A&M to talk things over before 4th down with a big-time run stopper for Carolina down and injured.
Right there. Watch the go down. Okay.
So what are you implying?
I don't know. That's a very unique time. You know, a lot of times coaches will tell you if you got to go down, go down. Tamari Fox goes down, but just a little bit of a delay there.
So after the injury timeout, it is 4th down and 1 inside the 10-yard line. This is a big opportunity for the North Carolina defense if you can get a stop here and avoid giving up points after the interception. Spiller breaks a tackle. He's at the 5. He's at the goal line. In for the touchdown. Eighth rushing touchdown of the season for Isaiah Spiller on 4th down and 1.
I was just going to say that touchdown really happens because of that 3rd down conversion between Kellen Mond and Spiller against the blitz. Jimbo stays aggressive. He's got great ability to find that hole, and then the physicality to finish at the goal line.
Seth Small's point after is good, and Texas A&M turns the takeaway into a touchdown. Isaiah Spiller Tough to bring down if you don't get him down at first. He is a tackle breaker.
Alston, click or call for a quote today.
The Capital One Orange Bowl, brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? AT&T 5G and Allstate. You've never been in better hands.
The last time North Carolina appeared in a major bowl game was 1950. Mack Brown was born in 1951. So he said, sometimes it's hard to catch the attention of my players. That got their attention. When I said, guys, you want to know how special the season you have had is? 2 years ago, you won 2 games.
Yep.
Now you're one of 12 teams left playing in one of these games. And the last time North Carolina played in one of these games, I wasn't born yet. He said that got their antennas up.
Hey, don't take it for granted either. You know, don't go out there and lay an egg, and don't make excuses. Let's play for who is playing in this game. I love that message to his team.
Caden Davis through the back of the end zone. Now the touchdown's one thing, but third down set it up.
You got to have a plan versus pressure. This is Speller. He's going to go on the swing route, and here comes the corner blitz. Sante's got him in coverage. You got to be on the same page, though, Bob. When that corner comes, Spiller, I love this right here by this player. Look, he's got vision on Kellen Mond right there, expecting the football. Kellen's like, okay, you've got eyes on me. I'll get that ball into my hands, and that 3rd and 8 becomes 4th and 1. So Isaiah Spiller's ability to be a pass catcher out of the backfield, talent-wise, but also the awareness of what the blitz answer is in that moment is a huge part of this Texas A&M offense, and it equals that touchdown.
Here's British Brooks, finds a crease. Good strong run by British Brooks with a flag down out to the 42.
During the run, personal foul, face mask. Defense, number 9. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run, automatic first down.
Tack on 15 more.
It's a great job of pulling backside by Azudu, and then British Brooks having the opportunity to play tonight. You see the face mask by Leon O'Neal. Sam Howell said he was excited to watch British Brooks get the opportunity to get some carries tonight. Physical runner.
Only 9 carries this season coming into tonight. Breaks a tackle in the backfield here, but nowhere to go. Fights his way back close to the line of scrimmage. He lost a yard.
Well, guys, after Sam Howell turned the ball over, he had a quick conversation with OC Phil Longo. And then as soon as Spiller entered the end zone, he was the first person on the field apologizing to every defender coming off the field. He certainly feels bad, but he's kept his calm, even-keeled demeanor throughout over here on the sidelines, and now hopefully it'll help in this drive.
It'll certainly help if he gets a run game that looks like the run game the last time he was here in this building. There's a seam shot to Garrett Walston, and there's a first down hookup. Howell to his big tight end.
Great little play-action fake from Sam Howell there, and Walston kind of fitting in right behind those linebackers. Carolina to the ball with some tempo.
Now it's Josh Henderson in at tailback. He gets an opportunity. He runs a man over. He's down to about the 25-yard line. He picks up 5. Again, the last time North Carolina was here, they put up 778 yards of offense against Miami. And about 550 yards rushing between Michael Carter and Javonte Williams. Howell out of the pocket. He's going to tuck it under and run. He gets to the sideline. Tripped up inside the 15. Out of bounds at the 12.
It's so well done by Sam Howell. They try to trick play. Took a tackle, kind of spread him out as a receiver, tight end, put him at a tackle position, try to leak him. It's not there. Credit A&M for being in the right position. Sam Howell does the right thing with the football, tuck it and run.
Daz Newsome circles in motion, but flags are thrown.
False start. Offense, number 72. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Let's watch Richards right here, this left tackle. Watch the foot move. Yep, that left foot. If I was having to block DeMarvin Leal, I'd probably try to move a little early too with the start that he's had in this football game.
He is unblockable at times, so now it's 1st and 15. Brooks back in the game. Down to about the 11-yard line. And Dan, you made the point. Michael Carter runs for over 300. Javonte Williams nearly 240 yards against Miami. They're not in tonight, but you can't run for 550 yards in a game unless your offensive line has a lot to do with it, and that offensive line's out there.
Yeah, I think they create some really good creases and seams that a lot of backs are going to find yards in, and they do a great job of getting to the second level. If they have that tonight, these backs will get yards.
Al on a keeper. He's got nowhere to go, it looks like. Bottled up next to the sideline and gets walloped. And now it's 3rd down, and a late flag is thrown. Leon O'Neal already called for a penalty earlier. Did he go over to the sideline and taunt North Carolina after the play was over?
Partner, you greased it. That's exactly what Leon O'Neal did.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, defense number 9. After this is to the goal, automatic first down. This is number 9's first foul that leads towards disqualification.
Number 9, Leon O'Neal. Where's the fine line, right? Are you being emotional or are you taunting? You know, and I think that's tough in that moment. He's doing it on North Carolina's sidelines right in front of Mack Brown, so it's probably necessary to be called.
Play action. And that pass floated out of bounds. Howell over the head of Joffrey Brown. What's also interesting to think about a moment like that, there's only 20% capacity inside the stadium. We've played inside empty stadiums this year. Yeah. If there were some magic words said by Leon O'Neal, the officials can hear it. And that might impact whether or not some flags get thrown. We've seen a lot of penalties this year, even in the games we've called, where there have been like simulated snap counts by defensive linemen, things like that, that wouldn't happen in a noisy stadium. Tackled back close to the 10-yard line. Buddy Johnson got him down. And now it is 3rd down and goal.
I think you see the speed of Buddy Johnson, number 1, right on that hash right there. Watch him, patient, now burst, accelerate to the football. Sam Howell nowhere to one, throw it or run it. Look at the speed from Buddy Johnson. It's a great play by the senior linebacker from Dallas. Looks like you got one-on-one up top. You know, you got a slot receiver up top. One of those guys has got to win off coverage.
And this play blown dead just as it begins. Looks like Mack Brown may have called a timeout from the sideline just before the snap.
First charged, timeout, North Carolina. This will be a full media timeout.
3rd down and goal when we come back.
Chevrolet, find new roads.
Two dominant performances in the semifinal games yesterday. Alabama hurtled past Notre Dame. And then Ohio State did the same on the strength of 6 touchdowns from Justin Fields to Clemson. A week from Monday in this very stadium, it's the national championship game presented by AT&T. Alabama, Ohio State, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific next Monday, and we will have you covered every platform, TV, radio, and digital. Right now, the Capital One Orange Bowl, and a big play here after the timeout, 3rd down and goal. Swing pass in the right flat, and get cut down at the 11-yard line is Josh Downs. Jalen Jones, that's true freshman on true freshman, as he makes the open field tackle. And North Carolina will have to settle for 3.
Just a great job by Jalen Jones of not taking what his receiver's selling. The receiver goes down inside. He plays disciplined football. Eyes on downs coming his way. Makes that big hit. Still a good drive by North Carolina's offense. Right after the turnover, come down, opportunity to get 3 points on the board.
Grayson Atkins from 29 yards out. He's got it. North Carolina on the board for Mack Brown late in the first quarter.
No fees or minimums on check.
We take care of our guests, whether they're 2-legged or 4-legged.
Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN. And the app will have the 86th annual Heisman Trophy ceremony, but the first ever virtual presentation. Again, that's Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. 4 very worthy finalists. But boy, will it finally be a wide receiver for the first time in about 4 decades. Devontae Smith has put together a really amazing resume.
You know me, I'm not scared to make definitive statements. Yes, it should be. Devontae Smith is the best player in America. I think America saw that yesterday. He should win the Heisman Trophy.
You say 3 decades. I think I just made Desmond Howard really old accidentally. As Jonathan Kim puts it through the end zone.
Let's look at North Carolina's defense. First third down of the game, they're going to bring those inside linebackers, and then they're going to drop the end to cover Isaiah Spiller. And that forces just a little bit of hesitation from Kellen Mond. That slants just a second late. The very next third down, here comes the corner blitz. Isaiah Spiller, give me the answer to this question. Give me your eyes right there. It's outstanding by Spiller. And then the ability to run in between the tackles. Fox is going to go that slant, picked off by Dan Moore, and just the vision and the ability to find the end zone for Isaiah Spiller. So really nice job adjusting on that third down. And then you'd say, Tamon Fox, if you win that rep with that slant and get your hands on him, find a way to finish and bring Spiller to the ground.
Mond off play action. On a rollout. Checks it down to Weidermeyer. He's out to the 29-yard line. Picks up about 4. Sets up second down and 6.
Really nice job by Weidermeyer of patience there. Kind of let the defensive end go. Okay, now I'm going to sit in this soft little spot as a zone. Mentioned he's 3rd in the country in catches for a tight end. He's a Mackey Award finalist and really just a piece for this offense that is just so difficult to match up with. Am I going to put a safety on him? Am I going to put a linebacker on him? Are we good enough in the run game to not have to commit a smaller body for coverage against him?
Mond on a keeper. Nice little dead leg move out to the edge. Tamon Fox tracks him and brings him down after a gain of a couple. And you know, they are unapologetic about how they play. And they are kind of a unicorn in college football, right? To have an Aniyah Smith, who's a jack of all trades, running back, slot receiver, and Isaiah Spiller, a power back, and Jalen Weidermeyer, a tight end. I mean, how many teams in college football, not just highly ranked teams, but teams period, don't have somewhere a big-time wide receiver that they depend upon and yet at the same time are really good? And that's Texas A&M, right?
I think that's what makes them very unique, is all those different pieces that they use in different ways. They challenge defenses with their formations and personnel.
Blitz coming on third down. And it works out perfectly. Jacurius Conley is there in the flat to bring down Spiller. And North Carolina gets a third down stop.
That's an outstanding job by the freshman Conley. You bring that pressure again, and instead of playing man coverage like they did on that first third down, they play zone. Conley's sitting right there. Okay, Spiller, you come to me. Be disciplined. Be patient. Drive and make that hit. But that really, winning second down is important, right? Getting them to 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 4 is enormous. It's a totally different grouping on your third down play call.
Just that 2-yard difference.
Absolutely. It's a 3rd and 4, the run game can still be a part of it. 3rd and 6, you're so much more likely to pass. That's when you can dial up those confusing pressures for North Carolina's defense.
Constantino with a wobbly kick up the sideline. Newsome fields it. Breaks a couple of tackles. Daz Newsome to midfield before he's brought down. And some momentum now for the Heels. Field position. And down by only 4. Next weekend is Super Wild Card Weekend. Triple headers both days. And we are blowing our broadcast out with megacast coverage on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, ABC, the app, ESPN2, Freeform. They will all have their own unique telecasts. Matchup day and time will be determined after tomorrow's games. You'll be a part of that coverage with your whole NFL Live group, right?
Yeah, we've got a megacast on ESPN Plus that's going to be a little bit more like analytics and very much so into the weeds of football. It'll be a lot of fun.
There's British Brooks across midfield, 3.5 on first down. DeMarvin Leal gets him around the ankles and brings him down.
It'd be interesting to see how committed North Carolina stays to this power run game. It's a little different. Power is when you bring somebody from the backside and you pull a guard, but it's really trying to get the ball to the perimeter. That's against really Texas A&M's strength, getting the ball outside. They've got to continue to be disciplined with that.
Once again, 3 yards. Pablo Schusen, Dan Orlovsky, Katie George bringing you coverage of the Capital One Orange Bowl. And a real contrast in styles, and something that you said that stuck with me as well. North Carolina's defense is about confusion.
Yes.
This defense for A&M is about domination.
And overwhelming. You know, it's just like they're physically talented, but then they'll put all these guys up in the line of scrimmage. 5, 6, 7 defenders in the line of scrimmage. And as a quarterback, they make you unsettled because there's like this relentless effort as well. So you're like, okay, who's coming? Where are they all coming from? Look at all the bodies at the line of scrimmage. Just walking around guys. And then who's coming? That's the communication from Sam Howell. And then it's just this closing of the pocket.
They rush 4, but it's a blitz off the edge. A check down to Josh Henderson. And he is brought down a couple of yards shy of the first down as Buddy Johnson made the stop. That brings up 4th down.
Well, guys, Jimbo Fisher and Kellen Mond have already met a couple of times over here on the sidelines. Jimbo says the most fun he has had during this season is when he and Kellen have conversations in-game on the sidelines, talking strategy and adjustments, using the whiteboard. And that's because Jimbo has met his match in Mond. Just when you thought no one loved talking ball more than Jimbo, in walks Kellen. Mond says they've been a perfect partnership ever since Jimbo arrived, and he cherishes moments like this on the sidelines.
Well, a big decision to be made in between the first quarter and second quarter break on the North Carolina sideline, as they've got 4th down and 3 inside the 45-yard line of Texas A&M when we come back. Back in Miami Gardens, set for the start of the second quarter of the Capital One Orange Bowl. And an early game management decision and a risk, it appears, for Mack Brown. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 3 from just inside the A&M 45-yard line. Your thoughts, Dan?
Aggressive play call. I would have punted. You know, my eyes now go to Daz Newsome, number 5 in the slot up top.
Quarterback draw. Sam Howell, he's got it. And then some. Into the secondary. Still on his feet. To the 29-yard line before he's brought down by Keldrick Carper.
It's a great play call by Longo. I mean, you line up and you take the back out of the backfield, put him in the slot, takes a linebacker out. Now your 5 offensive linemen have 4 defensive linemen and 1 linebacker to block, 5 on 5. And you tell Sam Howell, okay, now you go be an athlete, read 1 block and gives us a first down. Great aggressive play call. You know what? I wouldn't have punted. I would have gone for it.
Absolutely lying. Timeout called again by Mack Brown before the snap from the sideline for the second time here in the first half as the play clock was winding down.
The play clock. Timeout. North Carolina has their second charge.
Guys, Mack Brown says the biggest improvement he's seen in Sam Howell from year 1 to year 2 is his ability to extend drives with his feet, just like we saw. Howell dropped 10 to 15 pounds during the offseason. Teammates joke that the QB just got rid of his baby fat. Now, Howell begs to differ. He said, whoa, I just cleaned up my diet, worked on my speed and hip mobility during the offseason. Now he's around 220 and more mobile, so if he does get in situations like that, he feels confident enough to tuck it and run for the first down.
And he only eats chicken, right? Doesn't that put him in like a Dan Orlovsky kind of a category, right? Like skinny quarterbacks that only eat chicken?
Yeah, I mean, it's really the philosophy is beach season waits for nobody. you know, and so you're always ready to get in swim trunks.
Clearly my philosophy. Yeah, I can't imagine how unhappy you and he must be.
I mean, just because we like to eat clean and, you know, never poison our body with something like a cheeseburger or something. My wife at home is sitting here. My wife loves cheeseburgers.
Rumor
So
is
she's
there's
sitting on sick of-
cheeseburgers at halftime. Really hoping the clock winds quickly. So after the timeout, a handoff to Josh Henderson. He's down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. That's 5 yards on first down.
You know, going back to that last play in the timeout, you know, watching Sam Howell, look, he's pointing to the sideline, but also pointing at Andre White like, hey, are we sure we want to run that play versus him? DeMarvin Leal's there as well. I think Sam Howell's going, okay, I don't think that was part of our game plan. We don't want to run this play towards those defenders. The timeout was worthy.
Anderson again. Down to the 21-yard line, picks up 3 more. That's a funny look for a quarterback. I'm not sure how often that happens when you're back there. You've obviously been in that position, but you're looking over at the sideline saying, does anybody else see this guy here? Am I the only
Well, I mean,
one?
you know your game plan so well, and there's probably very, big talking points like, hey, we don't want to run it when DeMarvin Leal and Andre White are stacked on top of each other or something like that. And Sam might have gotten the call and been like, wait, guys, that's not part of our plan. And so just making sure that the communication is there and understanding that it's exactly what you want, especially such a big possession going for it on fourth down.
Big third down here. Brooks right up the gut. Gets tripped up, but easily picks up the first down. Leon O'Neal made the tackle, but it is into the red zone with a first down for North Carolina.
I mentioned Sam Howell liking British Brooks. What's going on right now for North Carolina offensively is they are really creating space for their run game. They're getting Texas A&M's defense kind of obsessed with the receiver splits and the motion, and they're creating kind of downhill space for their run game.
Play action. Catch is made by Garrett Walston, but he is hit immediately. Leon O'Neal like lightning over there to get after Garrett Walston.
The last time North Carolina down in the red zone, it stalled out. It was discombobulated. No De'Ami Brown. No backs that could be pass catchers that you know of. So Phil Longo's got to figure out, okay, can the receiver win one-on-one in the red zone? Okay, what tailback can actually catch the pass as a receiver out of the backfield? Finding his way through this game play calling wise.
Fade route. Up against the sideline and incomplete. Trying to hit Emery Simmons. Now it's third down and 10 at the 16-yard line. Good coverage from Brian George.
Really good job by George of punching. For Simmons there, too much at the line. Just go. You got to go vertical. Now third and 10. This is again where, okay, who? Third downs are about who's. Who's going to win? And I've mentioned this before. Daz Newsome, number 5, in the slot, right here. That's Daz. That's your playmaker. He's got to be an option to start on third down with your progression.
He's got at least one catch in every game he's played at North Carolina. They'll run it instead with Josh Henderson. And you're not going to get much against this defense. Third down and 10. That's basically just playing for the field goal.
Well, I don't hate it. You know, when you're playing a defense like Texas A&M's that gets into those exotic blitzes, people coming from everywhere, you can hurt them on third and long because it's a little bit of an unstructured look. They're more willing to take some risks with how many people they'll blitz off one side. Sometimes you can pop a run against it. It's certainly a safe call, but if there is a method to the madness or a reason why you're making that call there.
So Grayson Atkins from 32, already 1 for 1 tonight. He is now 2 for 2, and it's a 1-point game.
Finally home.
Echo.com.
Alabama, Ohio State, the national championship game, Monday, January 11th on ESPN.
So much pressure on Justin Fields as he was flawless against Clemson with 6 touchdown passes. And all the chatter. Can he play in the big game? What happened against Indiana during the regular season? What happened against Northwestern in the Big Ten championship game? Well, he went up against the best team that they played this year, and he was tremendous.
Best I've ever seen him play. Now, I know it's 2 years, but that's his best performance. He had some struggles this year, held on to the football a little bit too long, was undecisive. He was outstanding last night with everything that he did.
Well, it is time now for our AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. And if Justin Fields puts up numbers like that against Alabama, we will have another script that we did not think would be written, because they were pretty heavy underdogs to Clemson, and they'll be pretty heavy underdogs again to Alabama. And why not?
I think that game is so deep because both programs are like NFL programs. Both coaches coach like they're an NFL football team. It's loaded with NFL talent. Ryan Day put on a clinic last night. I am so excited to watch the coaching chess match and the talent chess match in that game.
Long throw to the sideline. Wide open, Anaya Smith. Breaking tackles to the 43 of North Carolina before he's brought down by Morrison. There's the Swiss Army knife making an impact for the first time tonight.
We've seen him in the backfield. We've seen him at the line of scrimmage. Now they put him as a slot receiver. Watch this route. Stem inside, get that safety to jump, and look at all the space now you've created. A little play action fake to hold those underneath defenders. That's that versatility, right? You don't know where he's going to line up. Is he going to be in the backfield? Is he going to be as a wide receiver? Now he's lined up as the backfield to the right of Kellen Mond.
Picked up 31 yards there. And they'll run the option. Mond keeps it himself. He's got 4.
I mean, think about that. You come out first down, you put him in the slot as a receiver. Now you've got him to the right with Kellen Mond and Isaiah Spiller. Isaiah Spiller becomes a lead blocker. Kellen Mond, you run the option. And Anaya Smith, you can be the pitch guy. That's as a defense, you're lining up okay. It's the same people on the field, but it's a completely different look for personnel, completely different look for your formation. That's the challenge that A&M kind of presents to you on a consistent basis because of all those versatile pieces.
Mond, terrific fake. Speed to the edge. A first down and then some. Dragged out of bounds, and that'll be 15 more. Trey Morrison is either going to get called for just a late hit out of bounds or possibly a horse collar as he got him up right around the back of the collar of the jersey.
During the run, personal foul, horse collar tackle, defense number 4. Penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal line, automatic, first down.
Just the zone read. Fox closes. It's a great job by Kellen Mond on the keep. And then as Trey Morrison kind of runs him down, first of all, hand inside that jersey, and then the rip down. Yeah, that's a good call. That's the right call by the officials.
So it's a first down to the 13-yard line now for Texas A&M. Kellen Mond could hurt you through the air and on the ground with his own legs as well. He's got 18 different games during his career where he's thrown for a touchdown and run for a touchdown in the same game.
Down here in the red zone is really where they like to use his legs as a runner.
Play action here. Floating one, back corner of the end zone for Anaya Smith. And the flag is out. Tyler McMichael in coverage on Smith.
There's no foul for pass interference. The ball was deemed uncatchable.
Just Anaya Smith in the slot. Kind of that fade. It's a good throw by Kellen Mond and a little bit of hand fighting. And that ball almost lands outside the white, the out of bounds marker. I like that call by the officials. Could he gotten a hand on it? Probably. But very unlikely that he's going to also make that catch but get a foot in.
My mistake. Trey Morrison there in coverage. Smith only 5'10". And so Morrison got the benefit of the doubt. Makes it second down and 10. Mond, quarterback keeper. Is that a broken play or a designed run, you think, as he dives down to the 11-yard line? Or is that just a quarterback run-pass option?
I think it's an RPO. Yeah, I think it's a run-pass option. And it's one of those pre-snap that he makes a determination, okay, I'm going to kick that ball out there. He looks like he wanted to throw a bubble two high shell, right? Two safeties out there. I want to throw a bubble out and get a blocker on the perimeter, and the slot receiver, Anaya Smith, came down to block. So just miscommunication between those two guys. But this is where North Carolina defensively wants to live. I said this at the beginning of the game. You've got to make sure, Kellen Mond, you see the rotation of these safeties, of these people picking out and popping from this line of scrimmage.
Only a three-man rush. Mond out of the pocket, cuts it back. Down to about the 6-yard line. He's brought down. It'll be 4th down and 3.5, close to 4. Eugene Asante makes the stop. And here comes the field goal group for Texas A&M. So a red zone defensive stop for the Heels.
Yeah, really good. You know, the way this drive starts with kind of 2 chunk plays, and then them keeping disciplined on 3rd down. Vision on Kellen Mond when he decides, okay, I'm a runner. Converge on the football. Gamel, Asante, everybody run. Pinder, run to the quarterback, force this field goal attempt. That is a win for the Carolina defense after the way that drive started.
25 yards away for Seth Small. He puts it through. 4-point lead again. You are watching the Capital One Orange Bowl.
You're paying too much.
24.
The Capital One Orange Bowl, brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Taco Bell's Nacho Fries and Samsung QLED TV, the official TV of ESPN College Football.
There are 6 active coaches that have at least one national championship on their resume, and we've got 2 squaring off tonight. Mack Brown, of course, got his at Texas. Jimbo Fisher at Florida State, and they are both now hoping to bring glory to these 2 schools. And I have to tell you, with where these 2 programs were not even that long ago, these are 2 of the great success stories this year in college football.
Yeah, it's interesting when you talk with Jimbo and kind of his relation also with Kellen Mond. He said Kellen's kind of led us to become one of those teams that other teams want to beat, right? So in a short period of time, he's accomplished a lot of what he hoped, and the recruiting we know is coming at Texas A&M. And then for Mack Brown, he just talked about how much fun he had this year and how rewarding it was, because he knew he helped the kids get here, and that was the most important thing to start this season.
It will be North Carolina football at their own 25. When we come back, it's the Capital One Orange Bowl.
All right, North Carolina missing some of their backs, but still being able to run the ball. Watch that backside guard Azudu pull. British Brooks, this is power. Inside out, bop, right there. And be a little bit physical. How about the 4th down play call, though? Empty the backfield. You got 5 offensive linemen on 5. Watch that guard Azudu again, right? You just feel. Find that linebacker that's hanging out. Now, Sam Howell, go be a little bit of an athlete. So, 64 rushing yards so far for this offense that's been dominant on the ground because, you know, they got a little bit of an underrated offensive line. British Brooks has had some nice touches. They've been super creative, and Phil Longo's doing a good job of, all right, British Brooks, he's a little bit more downhill. We got to make sure that we continue to pound that rock at a moving Texas A&M defense.
Texas A&M's run defense this year held 4 opponents to 50 yards or less for a game. 64 so far here in the first half. And here's Brooks again. Not much there. Wrapped up by Jaden Peavy.
Bob, Dan, during that last defensive break, linebacker Buddy Johnson spent some time in the medical tent getting treatment for tightness in his back. He says he's okay, just something to keep an eye out. As Mike Elko says, Johnson runs the show on defense. He's their heart and soul, calling all the shots, to the centerpiece of this A&M defense.
And he's led them in tackles in 6 of their 9 games this year.
Big time speed at the linebacker position. Also plays great in space.
Play action, 2nd down and 9. Out, long throw to the sideline. Tight window, incomplete for Chaffrey Brown. He was bracketed, and now it's 3rd down and 9.
I like the aggressive play call. For Sam, I just want to see a little bit more air on that throw. Let Chaffrey just go run him to the sideline. It's kind of one of those on the sideline drag throws. Now 3rd and 9. What have you gotten from this A&M defense? You've gotten double safety pressure. You've gotten all-out blitz overload. This is where you want to try to overcome them with a screen off the perimeter to take advantage of that blitz pressure.
And look at the numbers they've got near the line of scrimmage here. Daz Newsome on the wide receiver screen. Beautifully designed by North Carolina. They beat the blitz, and they've got 10 yards and a first down.
It's good. When teams blitz you, they're committing numbers, right? If you get that screen out and 1 or 2 blocks on the perimeter, Daz Newsome, a special playmaker in space, you can get some yards against those minimized numbers in the back end.
Play action again. Foul to the sideline. He'll get what he can. Are you surprised that at times tonight, North Carolina's been a little more deliberate in their tempo than we've seen this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think
does that have anything to do with who they're missing?
Yeah, that's part of it. Who they're missing, do they have those guys with the ability to make those big, huge, explosive plays, but also understanding who you're playing against. You know, you've got to be really efficient with your possessions. Texas A&M does a great job of owning the clock and also scoring with it. You've got to be a little bit deliberate with how you're going to go about your offensive plan.
Play action again. Another deep shot. Incomplete. Justin Olson, the intended receiver. So you've got players out there that have this season not been called upon by North Carolina to do much of anything, and he allowed himself to get shoved out of bounds.
But don't look back so early. You're giving away the route. Jalen Jones knows the route, excuse me. Blades knows the route, like, you know, Brian George, he knows the route when you peek back that early.
3rd down and 9. Jaden Peavy jumped. Was he drawn off? He was unabated to the quarterback, so rather than give Sam Howell a free play, they blow it dead.
Offside. Defense number 92 with contact. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
So this makes it, if you're North Carolina, maybe as much of a difference you were talking about with Texas A&M before, right? Going from 3rd and 9 to 3rd and 4 is a big deal.
It's huge because, one, there's not as much pressure on your offensive line. You don't have to hold it longer as a quarterback to get longer developing routes. And this is where you can find a one-on-one matchup in a 4 or 5 yard route, catch, fall to the ground, and you have a first down conversion. This is a good job by Howell. You see him coordinating their protection, pointing out.
4-man rush, and Newsome makes the catch and breaks a tackle. To the 46-yard line of Texas A&M.
This is just putting Daz Newsome in a little bit of space and going, you go win. You go win against the linebacker. And I asked Daz, like, when you get to the line of scrimmage and you know that route's the option route, you can go right or left. What do you got to do to win? He goes, I just got to freak him a little bit. Look at that route, that suddenness, the drop his weight, come back to the football, and then explosive after the catch.
Pump fake, and there goes Howell. Stays on his feet. He's got another Carolina first down. Richardson bumps him out. He picks up 18.
Never underestimate your ability to not throw the football. He gets the corner blitz by Brian George, tucks it away, makes a big play for his offense. Here comes pressure. You got to understand, ball's got to come out.
Flags down, shot to the end zone. Bobbled. It's a touchdown. What a catch by Daz Newsome. Damani Richardson is over there pleading the case that it should be an incomplete pass. Antonio Johnson as well.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown. Sideline warning, North Carolina. This is their first.
How did Daz Newsome hold on to that football?
Watch, he's in the slot. Slot fade, you got a lot of room to go. Sam Howell throws a beautiful ball. That's an incredible ability to have hand-eye coordination. Ball gets tipped, it's up in the air, it's floating. Strain to go make that catch. Looks like he gets his elbows underneath that. It's a great play by Antonio Johnson, the freshman nickel. But that is just Daz Newsome tracking the ball and making an absolutely ridiculous catch.
Well, they are going to go to the replay booth just to take another look. But, you know, we talked to Daz Newsome this week about the guys that opted out.
Yeah.
He said, look, these guys are my brothers. Michael Carter, Javonte Williams, De'Ami Brown. I certainly understand why they've made the decision they've made. But he said, there was no way I was not playing in this game. This is the biggest bowl game that we've ever had a chance as a program to play in since I've been at North Carolina. I have to play in this game. And that kind of passion, I mean, Mack Brown wrapped his arms around that with 2 arms.
Well, I asked him, like, hey, who's your favorite receiver? Who's a guy that you love to watch? He said Steve Smith, the ex-Carolina Panther. Makes some sense. Kind of growing up in that area and obviously playing at North Carolina. Steve Smith, notorious for kind of being a dog on the field, right? Just one of those tough guys, ultra competitive. I don't care. As long as I've got a heartbeat, I'm going to play in a football game. Daz Newsome's got a little bit of that into him. Not going to run by you crazy. Not overwhelming with physical talent, but just a ball player. This play's a perfect example. I have no idea how he tracks that football after it gets tipped. That's great coverage by Antonio Johnson.
And again,
he gets his elbows under it.
And this was ruled a touchdown on the field. So there has to be indisputable evidence to change the call on the field. And I don't think any of the replays that we saw were clear cut. Here's the call.
After review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown stands.
So Daz Newsome, a highlight reel touchdown catch here in the Capital One Orange Bowl, and North Carolina's got the lead.
Him looking into the camera. Remember Trey Sermon last night when he had that long run that everyone thought it was called back? He gave that look at the camera like, you guys know I didn't score there. But I also don't want to undersell, like, that was a fantastic throw by Howell. Fantastic. Ball came out on time. He knew he had space towards the sideline to go make that throw. Enough of a firmness to make sure he doesn't go out of bounds. It was big time by Sam Howell and Daz Newsome.
So it's a field goal lead for North Carolina. Still plenty of time on the clock for Texas A&M before halftime. But it's the 66th career touchdown pass for Sam Howell. And Daz Newsome makes a highlight reel play.
I'm David Collado, president and co-owner of Happy.
The official beer of UFC.
The 66th career touchdown pass for Sam Howell, and he is not yet done with his sophomore season before the end of tonight. He's got another couple of quarters plus to play. He has tied Trevor Lawrence for the most touchdown passes in ACC history for a sophomore quarterback.
Good company be in, right?
Pretty good.
You're looking at #1 pick and likely #1 pick. He's had a great start to his career. He's in an awesome offense. He's doing a really good job tonight of making sure getting the ball out of his hands and not hurting their football team against a really good defense.
Jonathan Kim puts it through the back of the end zone. Our first opportunity to say hi tonight to Matt Barrett.
Gentlemen, good evening. Happy New Year. Coming up at the half, Texas hooks a new coach. We'll get reaction to Steve Sarkisian headed to Austin. Plus, Iowa State makes program history today in the Fiesta Bowl. We've got an offensive showdown set up in that very stadium with Ohio State and Alabama in the national championship. Jesse Palmer, Joey Galloway join me coming up at the half.
How do you think Matt Barry celebrated New Year's Eve? Like, he seems like a rosé kind of guy, like super soft. You know, rosé and some weird smelling or weird tasting and weird named cheese.
With his cats?
Yeah. Look at my cheese board.
That's nice. Kellen Mond steps up in the pocket and he goes down. It collapses. And it's Tamon Fox that gets the sack. 7th sack of the season for Fox.
You're just going to see man-to-man coverage across the board, and then Fox dips underneath and retraces back to the quarterback. So often we see defensive linemen go past the quarterback and they hang out back there. Tamon Fox, awesome job. Get even with the quarterback, plant your foot in the ground, come back underneath, and be ready for the quarterback run.
Mond flips a screen. Spiller with a blocker out in front. Gets to the sideline. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Good pursuit by Don Chapman. Now, if North Carolina gets a stop here, it would be another 3 and out. Tonight, Texas A&M had 3 and outs on 2 of their first 3 drives after having the fewest 3 and outs this season in the SEC coming into the Capital One Orange Bowl.
And North Carolina's won third down so far because they've blitzed but also covered the answer more often than not. Spiller out of the backfield. So look for some kind of pressure again, but taking away that hot route. Kellen pointing, hey, if that guy blitzes, you got to give me the hot route, changing the protection.
Eugene Asante is a blitzer. He comes up the middle. Mon floats it over the middle, and it is a contested catch for Chase Lane. What a throw by Kellen Mond with the blitz coming and pressure right in his face.
Watch the right guard, Jared Hocker here. Watch him peel back, okay? You're going to get the blitz. You're going to get the blitz off the left edge, and watch Hocker. Set, now peel back left. Boom. Get Asante coming through and give him, Kellen Mond, the chance to get that ball downfield. That's part of the reason why Hocker's All-American. It's a great job by Chase Lane of flattening off that route and giving Kellen Mond the chance to get that ball away. Outstanding blitz pickup.
On. He's going to go down again. This is an offensive line that only allowed 4 sacks this season coming into tonight. And that blitz from Trey Morrison gets home.
Trey Morrison, a safety, comes off the edge. Rennick, the tight end's got to block him. Dip underneath. And pulls Kellen Mond down to the ground. So being aggressive on first down for Jay Bateman and this North Carolina defense. Knowing I don't want to give them 3 yards on first down and 3 yards on second down. Taking some chances. He knows that if he takes chances on first down with a little bit of pressure, he can catch Texas A&M off balance.
Half as many sacks as they allowed this season they have allowed on this drive. And it's second down and 18. This time he'll tuck it under and run. No one in the middle of the field. And he takes advantage and takes a hit. The ball pops out. I think they'll say he was down. And it certainly looked like he was, as Asante was there to stick Kellen Mond at the 39-yard line. It'll be third down and 4.
It's just great awareness by Kellen Mond. Watch the coverage. Knees are down. Before that ball pops out, he is definitely down. There is no fumble. And North Carolina plays man coverage, 2 high safeties. Linebacker gets taken away, taken the back. Okay, now you become a runner. Third and 4, 40-yard line. This is an opportunity. Maybe take a shot here. This could be 4-down territory for your offense late in this first half.
And no need to rush if you're Texas A&M. They have all 3 timeouts. And still 1:20 on the clock.
Right, you're man-to-man coverage. You get man-to-man across the board. Weidermeyer right there.
Option pitch. Spiller cuts it back. First down and more. Down to the 26-yard line. Tamon Fox made the stop. This is how you dominate time of possession as well. Number 1 in the SEC, number 3 in America. They know how to manage the clock, and they've got all 3 timeouts, 55 seconds to go.
What's the end game here? What's the goal here? The goal is to score points and not give North Carolina the ball back at all. You can do both as long as you're very patient getting to the line of scrimmage and executing the play that's called for the goal of that play.
Up the seam, Hezekiah Jones inside the 5. First and goal, Texas A&M. He's all the way down to the 3-yard line.
You've got plenty of time. You're patient. You're patient at the line of scrimmage.
They'll give it to Spiller. And he'll run into the end zone with a Texas A&M touchdown. Second rushing touchdown of the night for Isaiah Spiller. The Aggies with an answer, and they retake the lead.
Good job of that left side of that offensive line and that center again. Ryan McCullum just kind of getting people moved, and Spiller having the opportunity to pick the hole that he wants to hit. But what a fantastic drive by Texas A&M to get this touchdown late in the first half.
An 8-play, 75-yard touchdown drive. And Kellen Mond, a perfect 3 for 3 on that drive.
How about the eyes by Kellen Mond to hold that safety, Trey Morrison, and then come back to get Hezekiah Jones on that glance post. They actually put trips into the boundary. Ball was on the right hash. You put trips into the boundary, make North Carolina put a bunch of people over there, and then you could work that one-on-one route backside. And it's just the example of Kellen Mond knowing, okay, Jimbo Fisher called this play, right? He called this play for a specific reason. I got to do my part. Hold that safety. He's created the space, and you can go execute it.
We'll keep our eyes on that little limp from Isaiah Spiller. But talking, and Katie talked about this earlier as well, to Jimbo Fisher about Kellen Mond, the kinds of conversations that he as a play caller, an architect, a strategist can have with this quarterback. He says it's about as much fun as he's ever had as a head coach.
Yeah, and I said, Kellen, take me through, like, when you get the play call, what's your thought process is? I get my play. I get to the line of scrimmage. What's the defensive front? Okay, I know the front. What do they like to do out of that front? What's the coverage? All right, what do they like to do out of that coverage? And what's the game situation? So it's that constant thought process of him understanding the whys of what Jimbo's calling.
But how many building blocks do you have to go through, and what kind of a foundation has to be laid for Kellen Mond to get to the point where he can have a Jimbo Fisher conversation on Jimbo's level?
Yeah, we were talking thousands of hours together of watching tape or looking at notes or communicating the same way Malcolm Gladwell, right, wrote the book, and it's 10,000 hours to become a master of something. I'd say that Kellen Mond's the master of this offense. There's always an opportunity against the play, and there's always a problem, and he gives him the answer for both.
Draw play for British Brooks, and he is met by Bobby Brown, and that should take us to halftime.
It's funny, when I said Malcolm Gladwell book, you looked at me weird, kind of implying that you don't think I can read or choose not to.
It took me by surprise, I have to admit. That was a curveball. 17-13, A&M with the lead. Capital One Orange Bowl. After the break, it's the halftime report.
Team, it's been a grind.
Because we're always open at fairwayford.com.
Welcome back to the Capital One Orange Bowl here in Miami Gardens. Just about set for the start of the third quarter. And we've got a good one. Texas A&M with a 4-point lead over North Carolina. Bob Wischusen, Dan Orlovsky, Katie George here. First half had an NFL feel to it, didn't it? Minimal possessions, controlling the clock, field position, decisions for both coaches to make. It's fun football to watch.
It's been awesome, and it kind of leads me to, like, who's going to make a mistake, right? Or a big mistake, or who's going to make a big play. If you're Carolina offensive, you're going great. Sam Howell's played outstanding. He hasn't hurt our football team. He's made some big plays. We've run the ball relatively well. Our defense has made some key third down stops. And then for Texas A&M, you know, you're thinking offensively. We've been efficient with the football. Kellen Mond has gotten the ball out of his hands, but also made some big plays with his legs as a scrambler. And then defensively, I'd say that's the biggest question they're going to have to answer going into the second half is who's going to cover Daz Newsome? Because I feel like Daz Newsome got comfortable there late in that second quarter. So both teams got to be really excited about where they are. Who's going to make that big play, almost that game-changing play or mistake to swing this game one way or the other?
It certainly feels like that kind of a game, right? It'd be hard to imagine with 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, we're not going to have a competitive football game.
Yeah, absolutely. If you think North Carolina, okay, you turn the ball over early offensively, and then you don't convert in some red zone opportunities. Credit A&M for getting that takeaway. And so really, who's going to get this game to the style that they want into the fourth quarter? And then this game's going to be about a playmaker in the fourth quarter.
Let's head down to Katie.
Well, guys, Jimbo Fisher is pleased with his team's first half performance. He said, look, we scored on 3 out of 5 drives. He said it took us a little bit to find our rhythm. He said when Kellen Mond started running the football and using his legs, it really opened things up. But he said UNC is bringing pressure on almost every single drive. We did not expect that, but we're doing a better job picking that up. We have to protect the quarterback moving forward in this second half.
And Jimbo Fisher is one of the best kind of in-game adjusting coaches that we have in college football. So that's the matchup is like, okay, we showed you something, North Carolina defensively in the first half. Are they going to make some changes? And then the same thing for North Carolina's offense. Texas A&M, how are you going to adjust to the way that we use Sam Howell's legs?
British Brooks to start the second half. He hurdles for about 3. A couple years ago, called Texas A&M against Auburn. Met with Kevin Steele, the defensive coordinator for Auburn. And he said there are 3 kinds of coordinators. The bad coordinator looks at the game film on Sunday and is like, oh, I see what you did. I'm going to get you next time. The mediocre coordinator at halftime says, I have an idea of what you're doing. I'm going to get you in the second half. So Jimbo Fisher sees what you are doing on your first drive, and you better have an answer on your second drive. Here's the end around to Daz Newsome. He gets bottled up along the sideline and picks up a couple. So you go into the game with the idea that you have to have adjustments for the adjustments, because you know he will have answers for your answers.
Yeah, it's not the next step. It's like seeing 5 or 6 steps into the future of, okay, now I'm gonna get you into this, and then I'm gonna get you to what I want defensively, and I know how to attack it.
And Phil Longo has had some answers for this A&M defense tonight as well, and he's facing 3rd down and 5 as a play caller here. Howell, well protected. Long throw through the hands of Daz Newsome. He could not quite climb the ladder. He was wide open, and that's just a miss from Sam Howell.
That's the matchup. They feel comfortable putting Daz in that slot, and really they're giving him just a multiple way go. It's man covered. You can win inside if that defender's outside, and you can go outside if he's inside, and he hooks up, and Sam just puts it a foot too high. You'd love to say, Daz, catch that ball. It's a difficult catch, fully extended like that.
The first 3 and out of the night for North Carolina against a really good defense. Ben Kierden, rugby-style kick. Anaya Smith wants to try a return. Makes the first man miss. And now gets bottled up.
Just keeps crazy. Nacho fries are back. Run to Taco Bell.
Can I be honest with you? The first time I saw that commercial, I was like, because I don't do horror films. You know, I want to go to bed and feel comfortable with putting my head on the pillow. So when the first time I saw that commercial, I was like, turned away, try to not listen to it because it kind of creeps me out. And then I was like, oh, it's a Taco Bell nacho fries commercial.
Of all of the ways that I've gotten to realize over the last couple of years that you are not tough, that one didn't surprise me at all.
I don't get horror films, man. Like, why do I want to watch something that's going to unsettle me while I sleep at night? When I close my eyes, I want to be comfortable.
Yeah. Got the bottle of rosé ready for after the game. Here's play action for Kellen Mond on first down. He's out of the pocket, flagged down. He's got plenty of room to run, but this one might be coming back. Slides into plus territory. But it looks like there may be a holding call in the offensive backfield. Now Raymond Bohosic jumped up and knew he had drawn a penalty.
During the run, holding. Offense, number 65. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
And this left tackle, Dan Moore, you're going to watch him go against Fox right here. That's him. Now watch when he gets his hands up top on Fox, right? When he gets his hands right on the top of the shoulder pads, and then that drag right there. That drag right there. Fox looks back and goes, that's holding. Good call by that official. When you get those hands on that jersey and kind of rip them down, becomes obvious for those officials.
And Bohosic jumped up. He was also signaling holding. I think he thought he was the one that had drawn the penalty. Either way, it is first down and long.
I will say this, though. That's 3 or 4 times tonight that we've seen Kellen Mond have opportunity to break away with his legs. North Carolina better get that figured out and an answer for him running when they get coverage on their back end.
It's a really good run by Isaiah Spiller. That could have been a tackle for a loss, and he ends up scooting up the sideline. That was turning what easily could have been a 3 or 4 yard loss into a couple of yard gain.
Now here, if you're Texas A&M offensive, you're sitting here at 2nd and long, and you're going, okay, is Jay Bateman, this North Carolina defensive coordinator, is he going to bring one of these fire zones where 3 or 4 guys will blitz from one side and 2 or 3 will drop out from the other side? If that's the case, coordinate your protection. You got chunks in your pass game if you want it.
It's a 4-man rush. Mond tried to drop it into Chase Lane, and it went right through his hands.
I think Chase Lane gets a little bit his eyes. You know, Gamel's running right underneath. Watch from the left side of your screen. Look at Gamel's kind of running right underneath, and I don't know if he saw that ball necessarily coming to him, and it gets on his hands so quickly, unable to make that catch.
So 3rd down and 18. A chance for North Carolina to maybe get the football right back with good field position if they can get a stop here.
Well, you're thinking 3-man pressure, 3 guys on that defensive line pressure, and 8 in coverage. Got to be really smart with your eyes and decision-making, Kellen Mond.
And Mond takes the check down. And they just buy a little bit of real estate for the punt group. That's just a senior quarterback managing the game, right? We're not going to force it. We're not going to take an unnecessary chance on 3rd down and a mile.
Remember, get to the line of scrimmage. What's the front? Okay, what do they do out of it? What's the coverage? What do they do out of it? What's the game situation? Sure, if I got to force this ball, if it's the 4th quarter and 4 minutes left, then I could take a chance. There's no reason to do it. You got one of the best defenses in the country. Unlikely 3rd and 18 conversion. Don't hold it, because that's how sack fumbles happen. Get the ball out. Play another possession.
Constantinu just gets it away. And Daz Newsome will let this one bounce along the sideline. And it will be North Carolina ball when we come back to the Capital One Orange Bowl.
Whoa, Susan.
Oh.
Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Hard to be better than Devontae Smith has been this season for Alabama. Dan Orlovsky, is that your Heisman winner?
Absolutely. He's the best player in America. You talk about the everything wide receiver. Speed, route running, strength, strong hands. It's phenomenal.
Well, it's time now for our AT&T countdown to the CFP National Championship. Now, your Heisman ballot had to be in before the playoff, but it's not like Devontae Smith didn't do anything to say your vote wasn't a good one if you voted for him for the Heisman.
I don't think I'm allowed to reveal my vote, but if I blink twice, I voted for him.
Ripping one over the middle to Joffrey Brown is Sam Howell. A chunk play to start this drive for North Carolina. He beat Brian George, picked up 26.
Saw it a little bit in the first half. Some motion really confusing this A&M defense. You see it again. Joffrey Brown just kind of replacing those moving linebackers.
Quarterback run. Out, nowhere to go. He is thrown down by McKinley Jackson. That's a true freshman. He was the #1 player in Mississippi last year. Mississippi Mr. Football. And boy, he's playing behind some really good ones up front for Texas A&M.
He's a fantastic defensive lineman that's got a big future for Texas A&M. 6'2", 335, kind of a space eater, but also moves well.
Al steps up, avoids a sack, wants to take a shot. Off the fingertips of Antoine Green. He got tied up with Brian George and was almost standing still inside the 10-yard line when Sam Howell let that one go.
It's a great job by Howell of avoiding pressure and then giving Green a chance to full extension. And just unable to come down with that catch. Incredibly difficult as he takes a hard hit into the ground.
And Antoine Green to the sideline with a limp. Again, no De'Ami Brown, part of the opt-outs along with Michael Carter and Javonte Williams. 3rd down and 10. 4-man rush. Out to the sideline to Joffrey Brown. De'Ami's little brother has a 1st down catch on 3rd down and 10.
Just watch this receiver come hook down here now. That's the nickel defender. If he hangs inside, if you can hold him with your eyes, ball out on time right now. That's outstanding by Sam Howell. Simple read. If that guy hangs, kick that ball outside.
Another play action fake. This one over the middle to Garrett Walston. He's down to about the 17-yard line, a gain of 9. Antoine Green trying to walk it off on the sideline for a receiver core that's thin without De'Ami Brown. They want him back on the field. Henderson. Very close to the 1st down. It looks like he just did get enough to get to the line to gain. Although I don't think they're going to give it to him without a measurement.
I mean, I know the yellow line isn't always perfect, but it certainly looks like it's sitting on that yellow line, and if that's accurate, it's an easy first down.
And now they will say without measurement that it is a first down.
Down in the red zone, for this offense, it's about space. Find your best player and create space for him. I've said it multiple times. Tonight, this is about Daz Newsome. How many different ways can you get him the ball one-on-one matchups?
He's in the right slot. Howell looks the other way. He's going to the goal line for Walston, and it's broken up.
That is just a fantastic play by Jalen Jones. He's playing outside corner, and he's got vision on Sam Howell and just sees Walston release. Watch him on the outside corner, top left. Now claps inside. That right hand gets that ball away. That's a big-time play by the true freshman. Really good feel with the vision to the quarterback.
And for an experienced defense, you said the magic words, true freshman. A lot of trust in Jalen Jones. Out of the pocket. This is a stiff arm. Can't get away. Andre White there to make the stop. He only picked up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half. So another big third down coming here at the 15-yard line. They might be getting a free play here. Might be too many men on the field for A&M. Howell's going to look to the end zone, and it's intercepted, but this will probably all be coming back. Brian George gets the pick, but it looked like the pace of North Carolina trapped an extra player for Texas A&M on the field, and they had 12 men.
It's definitely 12 on defense. You could see Eric Young, number 4, trying to run off right before.
The legal substitution. Defense had 12 on the field, did not get off the field in time. 5-yard penalty, third down.
Watch the communication now. Watch Young. You see a guy run off. This is Young trying to run off right there.
Now the key is, and the key is North Carolina didn't substitute.
Correct.
If North Carolina keeps their 11 on the field, they can go as fast as they want.
Correct.
And they don't have to allow any time for Texas A&M to substitute. So A&M tries to substitute against that NASCAR pace, and it got them.
Remember, there was a third down in the first half where it was 3rd and 9. They got the offsides and then converted. Let's see if North Carolina can take advantage of the penalty once again.
3rd down and 4 at the 10. This play blown dead. Was a timeout called? Let's see.
The previous ruling on the field that there's 12 on the field, the 12th player did not get off in time, is under further review.
We'll step aside for what should be, you would think, a very quick confirmation from replay.
All kinds of rain.
24.
The Capital One Orange Bowl, brought to you by Lucid Air. Luxury meets electric. Arriving this spring. Visit lucidmotors.com. And Bolt 24, real advanced hydration from the makers of Gatorade.
They are back in Miami Gardens. We had a very quick confirmation while we were away that, yes, indeed, Texas A&M did have 12 on the field. So it was a confirmation of an accurate penalty call. And now it's 3rd down and 4 in the red zone for North Carolina. And Dan, what might be 4-down territory?
I think if you get some 3 or 4 yards here and this becomes a 4th and 2 or 1, I think Mac Brown's going to be aggressive and go for it.
That's Josh Downs, a wide receiver in the backfield. Howell looks his way on the wheel route. He's wide open for the touchdown. Who needs 4-down territory when you score the touchdown on 3rd down? Line up a wide receiver in the backfield. and get the matchup you want.
Mentioned it, right? Take advantage of the penalty. The penalty happens. 3rd and 9 is totally different than 3rd and 4. You're thinking man coverage. And you get downs on that matchup. What an outstanding drive by this North Carolina offense.
Oh man, can't wait to tell everyone about it.
Because we're always open at fairway4.com.
The freshman on the right scored, but Dan, the senior on the left, made the play.
And it's why the penalty matters. It's just a beautiful understanding. You're going to get man-to-man coverage. You're going to get the rail route here. You've got him in man-to-man coverage. Everyone keep your eye on Daz Newsome. It's man-to-man. Do your job. Picks, rubs, meshes. Look at the pick route right here. Newsome's going to do a great job of getting in the way. The rail route comes free. Eric Young gets hung up for just a second, and there's that touchdown for North Carolina's offense. And Bob, you asked a great question. Well, why is that not offensive pass interference? It's because Daz Newsome doesn't give intent of setting the pick. I'm running my route. Defender, if you get in my way, that's on you.
National championship game presented by AT&T coming up between Alabama and Ohio State next Monday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. We will have you covered. And when we say we will have you covered, we really mean we will have you covered. Every platform, TV, radio, digital. You cannot possibly be missing a way you want to watch that game if you can't find it on that menu right there.
Shockingly, I'm part of that one as well.
Can't believe it.
Our NFL Live crew, me, Marcus Spears, the SEC guy, Mina Kimes, are going to do the ESPN2 megacast with, again, a little bit of a different spin. So we're super excited and fortunate for that opportunity to do that.
Mon with an empty backfield. Tries to squeeze one into Hezekiah Jones and can't do it. Broken up by the freshman Tony Grimes. Only the 7th possession of the night for Texas A&M, and it's been feast or famine.
Well, Jay Bateman, again, North Carolina's defensive coordinator, said, you know, we want to get physical at the line of scrimmage. We want to kind of challenge them to be willing to push the ball downfield. I don't want to give them the 5-yard completions that Texas A&M has done so well this year, and I think the physicality by this secondary is paying off. Good job. You see Kellen Mond goes, okay, if you guys are going to play one high, I got to run to the right leverage or get the ball out of my hands.
There's a handoff to Devon Achane, and he is a speedster, a track star that blasts up the middle for 7 yards. That makes it 3rd down and 3. That's Ryan McCollum, the center. That's a very important Maroon goon right there that is down and hurt after that run by Achane. An offensive line that coming into tonight had allowed 4 sacks and only allowed 3.8 tackles for loss per game this year. Both number 1 in the SEC, both in the top 4 in America.
You're talking about an offensive line that's one of the best in America. Obviously a Joe Moore Award finalist group. And it's really those interior 3, Green, McCollum, and Hawker, are fantastic. They're all a really good group, but those 3 guys, the physicality, they're great working together. I've said this before about this offensive line, really good front side, fantastic on the backside in their run game. You certainly hope McCollum's okay, as he kind of looked like he got a little bit of a leg whip at the back end of that tackle. Here's the thing, when you got a great offensive line like they do, right? One, you never hurt your football team. You're very rarely in 2nd and 12s because of that. And then 2, it allows everybody else's strengths to kind of be magnified. You got a little bit more time as a quarterback to let those receivers win. Receivers got a little bit more time to win. Running backs, they're going to get to the line of scrimmage to make their cuts. And McCollum is such an important piece because we're talking about an offense that does a lot at the line of scrimmage, that you better be on the same page with your quarterback, seeing things the same way, because it's a chain of command. I get a call from the quarterback, center's got to tell everybody else, this is who we're going to.
That's Kenyon Green, the left guard, that's going to slide over and play center. He's going to getting a couple of practice snaps in with Kellen Mond as he'll now move inside.
You would think if this is going to be a run play for Texas A&M, you would lean towards that left side. Hocker goes from the right guard to left guard. Layden Robinson, a freshman, comes in to play right guard. So you're thinking if we're going to run the football, it's going to be going to the left.
Let's see how clean the snap is as well as Green takes over at center. Like he's been snapping it the whole game. Here comes a blitz off the edge. Tony Grimes after the quarterback, and he trips up Kellen Mond. Speed from the true freshman, and he gets Mond down for a 1-yard loss.
There's that pressure again. There's that corner pressure again. Grimes, look at this hustle. Look at that true freshman hustle, that speed, and then that length to roll that ankle of Kellen Mond. This is that pressure package. The corner comes, and you're thinking, I got my tailback wide open. You drop out and you cover it. That's the confusing part. This is what's happened is it's not just Kellen Mond isn't trusting what he sees. Everybody on the offense isn't trusting what they're seeing. Jay Bateman is kind of winning right now that cat and mouse game when it comes to play calling.
As Newsome, the fair catch just inside the 25-yard line. A 3-point lead for Carolina in the Capital One Orange Bowl.
With a top-rated app that lets you deposit checks and transfer.
New TV, free content, and Care Plus with Samsung Access.
They are getting the vitamin C ready after the game. Stay tuned. It's the Capital One Orange Bowl MVP and trophy presentations. Katie George will be down there to talk to the winning coach and hand out the Capital One Orange Bowl trophy. And North Carolina past the midway point of the third quarter has the football in the lead. Brooks looking for a cutback lane and finding one. He's got 6 yards out to the 30. Brian George came up to help on the stop along with Jaden Peavy.
I've been really impressed with British Brooks in 2 ways. One, the patience as a runner, and then when he sees that hole and commits, like you see a little bit of burst through that hole. It's really helped their run game.
Wide receiver screen. Antoine Green net immediately. Leon O'Neal all over him. Now it's third down.
It's a great job by Leon O'Neal of charging to Antoine Green on that hot answer. You're looking at 3rd and 4. Okay, these 3rd and 4s and 3rd and 3s, you've been getting a ton of man coverage, and Phil Longo's been great with figuring out mesh, pick. This is where you think you want to get crossers, get that defense running side to side. Daz Newsome getting a one-on-one, 2-way go.
Daz Newsome frantically trying to communicate with Sam Howell with the play clock winding down. Here comes a blitz. Sam Howell out of the pocket. He's going to try and run for it with a stiff arm dives for the line to gain. And it looks like they'll mark him out a couple of yards shy. Buddy Johnson tracked him to the sideline. And here comes the Carolina punt group.
This is a great job by Buddy Johnson of closing on Sam Howell. Outstanding effort. Kind of loses that ball. He's going to make that lunge. It's a great job by A&M. Getting off the field, the quick 3 and out on defense, finding a way on that 3rd and 4 or 3rd and 5 to play good man coverage. Buddy Johnson having vision on Sam Howell, and then you see once again the speed to go track him down.
Kiernan, line drive kick. Perfect coverage. Nowhere to go for Aniyah Smith. Brought down by Chapman. Well, we've got our first star-studded NBA Wednesday doubleheader of the year on ESPN and the ESPN app. Jason Tatum and the Celtics in Miami to take on Jimmy Butler and the Heat at 7:30, and then Kawhi, Paul George, and the Clippers will square off with Steph and the Warriors. NBA Wednesday is back.
Feels like Texas A&M at some point early down here is going to have to take a shot downfield. These North Carolina secondary is getting really close to the football.
Mond hands one to Spiller, then he turns the corner with a stiff arm. There's the speed of Eugene Asante to run him out. And that sophomore has done a really good job in the absence of Chaz Surratt. Right? I thought you said this week you really expected Surratt's absence to impact how Carolina does what they do in the front seven. It doesn't seem like it has.
Well, Surratt was such a great blitzing linebacker for them. And I think that's like, okay, they found different people to blitz. They brought the same pressures just with different people. Their defensive line has kept hands off Asante, and then you're seeing the athleticism and the speed. He's playing instinctual. That's been a big part of his game tonight.
A-Chain. He breaks a couple of tackles and weaves his way for a first down. Nice run by the true freshman.
Well, guys, Jeremiah Gemmel was excited to play alongside sophomore Eugene Asante. He said he's not the most elite pass rusher like Surratt, but he's got the athleticism, speed, and coverage ability to have an impact in this game. He said the key is just calming him down for the first couple of drives, and I've been keeping an eye on Asante throughout this entire game on the sidelines. He's been cool as a cucumber, ready for this moment.
He was a running back in high school, according to Jay Bateman, who they put over on the defensive side as a senior. Said everybody was like, wow. And he's been a defensive player ever since. Mond trying to find Weidermeyer, who has been quiet tonight. He only has one catch for 4 yards in this game. That's a tight end. That was #1 in the SEC in most catches for a tight end this year.
Watch Rucker, 25, find McCollum, run through his chest, and create that pressure on Kellen Mond, and he just doesn't have the ability to step into that throw. Rucker made that huge play on third down in coverage, and Weidermeyer's been a little quiet tonight. Haven't gotten him the ball as much as they've wanted to. I think Jimbo Fisher needs to get him extended from formation, see if you can find a matchup that you like out in space. There it is, there's Kellen. Okay, I see something, guys. This is something that I should get to. What do I do with the football now when I change this play?
They swing it out to Aniyah Smith with a cutback to midfield. He is dangerous when he gets it in the open field, and they find so many different ways to get it to him.
Sees that nickel back tucked in. Aniyah Smith, this is an easy throw, the extension of the run game. Ball out to the perimeter. You need one wide receiver block, and that little throw becomes a huge chunk game. But that happens because Kellen Mond saw, all right, defense, you're going to play like that. I'm not going to allow you to. I got to kick this ball out of the bubble. 18
yards as he made Trey Morrison miss. A-Chain stays in the game in the pistol as the tailback. We'll give it to him. Nice little dead leg move with a flag down. He got to the perimeter, but a flag thrown at the line of scrimmage.
During the run, holding, offense, number 46. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, first down.
It's Ryan Rennick, the tight end.
You're going to see it. It's a good call. He's going to get hands completely around on Evans. See the jersey pull right there. I feel like that's a little tough, right? You know, like, that's not an obvious one to me. Was it to you? Like,
he tackled him.
Yeah, but I felt like his hands were somewhat inside. You know?
Somewhat inside what? Inside his jersey so he could tackle him?
Here's the thing. This hurts an offense that can't get explosive. I can play 1st and 10 ball. I can't play 1st and 20 if I'm inexplosive as an offense.
Well, you can if you get it to A-Chain in the open field. That got the penalty yardage back and then some. Gemmel made the stop, but that's a state champion in the 200 meters and the Texas Gatorade Boys Track and Field Athlete of the Year. So if he gets it, he's a blur, and he makes it 2nd down and 5. Picked up 15 yards.
You stick with your run game right now if you're A&M. Getting a little push at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. 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 2
A-Chain makes the tackle of Asante and maybe picked up a half yard. Now it's 3rd down and a long 4.
I mean, this is the situation where I want to see Weidermeyer and Anais Smith on opposite side of the field. Okay, North Carolina, who are you going to put on these guys? That's what I want to know. What's the matchup? Then Kellen Mond's got to know, okay, it's man-to-man coverage. I like this matchup better than the other one.
Well, Jimbo Fisher is thinking the same thing you are. Weidermeyer in the right slot, Anais Smith in the left slot, and a jump in the neutral zone. On 3rd down and 5. Let's figure out what the call is here. Could be a 1st down for Texas A&M.
Offside. Defense, number 10, causing the offensive tackle to move. 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
That's Desmond Evans, a true freshman, by penalty. Texas A&M gets a 1st down.
Look at Evans right here. Now you're going to see 51 Vahasek move right there. And I think like that suddenness from that nose tackle forces Evans to move. All the offensive tackle has to do is react. That's all he has to do. If he reacts and you're in the neutral zone, offsides as the defender, then it's offsides on that defense. You better go cover him.
Antenna has to be up as A-Chain empties the backfield. He's to the top of the screen. Mon looks over the middle instead. Now he comes back to the left to Anais Smith. Lassoed down. One-on-one tackle by Kyler McMichael.
Look at McMichael. Drop. Converge. Be violent on the tackle. The secondary is playing good football tonight. They've been physical. They've played disciplined. Eyes on Kellen Mond, and when they've needed to tackle in space more often than not, they've done it.
Looks like the final snap of the 3rd quarter. 2nd down and 7. And again, it's A-Chain on the field in the backfield to the right of Kellen Mond. Swing pass to Anais Smith. He's got speed as well into the red zone. That's a big play with an extra. The flag thrown. It looks like a face masking call might go against Kyler McMichael to end the 3rd quarter on Anais Smith. Let's see, is it a horse collar tackle?
Personal foul, horse collar tackle.
It is.
Defense number 1. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Automatic 1st down. We will extend the 3rd quarter for 1 play.
It's the right call. And McMichael knows it. You get that hand inside that jersey, that pad area, ripping to the ground, that's going to get called. That's the right one.
And so because it was a defensive penalty, we will have an untimed down at the end of the 3rd quarter, and it's a goal-to-go situation for Texas A&M looking to retake the lead. There aren't many fans here, but there's a little echo of Kyle Field heading to this end zone for Texas A&M. They've got their fans right behind these uprights, urging them on, at least those that can make it inside Hard Rock Stadium.
Look at 2 backs in the backfield. You got both A-Chain and Anais Smith lined up in the backfield. The challenge for the defense, who's who?
It's A-Chain. Down to the 5-yard line to end the quarter. 2nd down and goal for Texas A&M, looking to retake the lead when we come back to start the 4th quarter of the Capital One Orange Bowl.
Chris Fowler here, Dos Equis' new 4x4.
Go to Humera.com to see proof in action.
Alabama, Ohio State, the national championship game, Monday, January 11th on ESPN.
And we take a look at the college football playoff rankings brought to you by AT&T 5G. And then there were two convincing wins for Alabama and Ohio State right here in this very stadium a week from Monday, 8 Eastern on ESPN and all our platforms. It's the title game. We start the fourth quarter, though, the Capital One Orange Bowl, with a 2nd down and goal situation for Texas A&M. Anaya Smith again the fullback, and A-Chain lines up as the tailback.
Running the ball to the left here, tight ends here.
False start. That little jump to the left, the shift of that defensive line for Carolina, and maybe someone up front for Texas A&M flinched.
False start. Offense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
Just watch a little bit of the shift by this defensive line. Just the lateral shift is going to go that way. Now watch Carson Green. He's going to react. A little shift, that's sudden. Okay, now that jump by 54 is what happens. As long as the defensive line isn't jumping past that ball and making sudden movements, that's on that offense.
Obviously now a completely different formation. Shotgun for Mond with an empty backfield. 2nd and goal now from the 10. He's going to tuck it under and run. Toughness down to the 5. So he gets back the penalty yardage. Now it's 3rd down and goal. Asante made the stop.
That was a big-time play by Asante. You saw some closing speed right there. Dropped into coverage, and then hunted Kellen Mond.
You like going back to the same formation, personnel package you had on 2nd down and goal from the 5, now 3rd down and goal?
No, I want to spread out. I want to spread out a little bit here. Kellen's been really good with his decision-making of whether to run or take your option to throw. This is where they love to get a high-low. Try to put a guy in conflict and high-low, and the ball might go to the back pylon.
Chase Lane in motion. They clock down to 3. Mond flips it in the back of the end zone for Weidermeyer, and it's incomplete. 4th and goal at the 5. And Texas A&M will send out the field goal unit to try and tie the game.
He had him. Kellen Mond saw it, and he had him. Watch Weidermeyer. He's going to wrap here. Asante drops underneath, but Weidermeyer is going to slow down. Keep bending right there. Don't slow down. Kellen Mond's throwing you open. He's throwing to you where he expects you to be. You can't slow down. Cross that safety's face. See it the same way. Missed opportunity for that Aggies offense.
Chip shot for Seth Small. We are tied early in the 4th quarter at the Capital One Orange Bowl.
Bowl 24, keeping it real with
Tuesday at 7 Eastern on ESPN and the app. We'll have the 86th annual Heisman Trophy ceremony, but the first ever virtual presentation. I'm Bob Wischusen. I do not have a Heisman vote. I'm alongside Dan Orlovsky, who has a Heisman vote. Don't think that is not a point of bitterness on this broadcast crew, but put that aside. This is your pick, Devontae Smith?
I already voted. I don't think I'm allowed to reveal my vote for the Heisman.
I guess I'd have to have a vote to know.
But
I don't know.
If I blink twice, which the camera can't see, I voted for him.
Well, Devontae Smith would be a very worthy player to vote for. If you were looking for any guy, at least in the last couple of decades, in the era of quarterbacks only seeming to win that award,
sure.
He is arguably the best player in America at any position.
Yeah, I mean, he's the best player in the country. I think him and Kyle Pitts are the 2 best non-quarterbacks in the country. He's the best. Everything you want as a wide receiver. I had an SEC coach, 3 different ones, 3 different SEC coaches this year who have coached in that conference for a long time say to me, he's the best wide receiver I've ever seen, which is big words.
Howell out of the pocket, looking downfield, unloads one for Downs, drops it in, Josh Downs, pay dirt, Carolina back on top.
opportunity.
No question. Sometimes the absence of one player creates an opportunity for another. And De'Ami Brown normally is the big play receiver.
Yep. It's just awesome to see a young man have the opportunity on a huge stage. And his athleticism, his talent kind of shows up. It's a great job by Sam Howell getting outside the pocket. Josh Downs sees it. Deep ball, makes the catch. Tar Heels take the lead in the fourth.
Gifts for elves, check.
The Capital One Orange Bowl, brought to you by Capital One. What's in your wallet? AT&T 5G and Taco Bell's Nacho Fries.
Alabama and Ohio State hoist their respective hardware last night. Which one will hoist the national championship trophy? We will find out right here in Miami, coming up a week from Monday. A couple of touchdowns for Josh Downs, though, the true freshman. In the Capital One Orange Bowl, he has given North Carolina the lead. Bob Wischusen here with Dan Orlovsky and Katie George. And with the kickoff. And this will be a touchback. Time for our Capital One rewarding performance.
Watch the defensive line game for Texas A&M. You're going to get that stunt. Now, everyone watch Richards. This is what's called passing it off. Outstanding job. Collapse it. Sam Howell, get outside the pocket. I love this from Sam Howell. Look, he's got the vision to point. He sends Downs. You go take your shot right there. Trailing defenders don't see me. I'm going to put this ball out to space. Secure that catch. Gives him an Aggies down. What an outstanding job by that offensive line of picking that stunt up, and Sam Howell saying, this is the time, take it.
Now can Kellen Mond respond? He's looking downfield. He's going to shoot one of the sideline and overshoots Hezekiah Jones.
Well, guys, Texas A&M DC Mike Elko had some interesting comments about Sam Howell yesterday. He believes his arm strength and accuracy throwing the deep ball is as good as A&M has faced this season. He says when you really look at the film, Howell is very similar to Alabama's Mac Jones, which is quite the compliment. Dan, I'm curious, do you agree with that comparison?
Yeah, I think that Mac's got a little bit of explosion in his arm. Sam plays with a better base. Sam's more aggressive with the ball when it's just one-on-one. You know, Mac is often play-action pass. I think Sam moves better than Mac Jones, and that kind of creates some offense. We've seen it a lot tonight, obviously, in the touchdown to Downs.
On to Anais Smith for about 5 yards. Again, it's Devon Achane that is starting this drive at tailback. Now, he is a speedster and a weapon, certainly, that Jimbo Fisher wants to use. We saw Isaiah Spiller limping earlier. We thought he might have just been taking a possession or two off, but he's not out there again.
Yeah, and he's this big physical back. I think he showed a little bit on that last red zone trip as well. Like, you want to get that back. He's got great vision down on the goal line and finding those seams, and they certainly miss him. Don't forget, he's a great pass-catching back as well. So now everybody's roles are changing. I love this. They put formation into the boundary. Look at all these bodies up here into the boundary. You got one-on-one to the field, but you got to beat press man.
Third down and 5. Mond bullets one over the middle. A very tight window, and Hezekiah Jones has it for the first down.
Really good job by Kellen Mond drifting from that pressure, something that they've struggled with tonight. Kind of making that tight window throw. Hezekiah Jones isn't really open there. No, they're not winning against man coverage, but putting that ball low and away gives them a chance to go secure that third down. Gotta take your shot. These safeties are low. You gotta take your shot downfield.
Mond with all day to throw. Wide open, Anais Smith. He drops it in. Anais Smith with a cutback. Still on his feet. Down to the 6-yard line. It's a goal to go for the Aggies.
This is a beautiful job of play action. This is taking your shot. Watch the offensive line secure Kellen Mond. Now watch, pop. That Anais Smith route right from that right side of that screen. Sailed on that crosser. and then snap it back outside. Conley just no match, and then the ability to make those plays after the catch. Such a special player. I love taking that shot in that Texas A&M offense.
You can see Spiller over on the sideline walking with a limp, so he is not right. And that is Devon Achane as the tailback once again. He takes the handoff. He just pushed the pile down inside the 5 to about the 2.5. It'll be second down and goal.
This is really when the eye discipline of your defense has got to show up. We've seen a lot of pound-it run game down here for Texas A&M. Jimbo Fisher bringing extra bodies in. Do not be surprised if you see a little bit of a pop pass or hard ball play action and trying to just wrap somebody behind a defensive player that commits to buying on that run.
Well, now it's the big 250-pound fullback Hagan Baldry in front of Achane. Achane is waffled at the line of scrimmage by Vahasek.
Watch Vahasek, 51. Just push McCullum all the way back and absolutely bury Achane.
That's a young man that had no offers out of high school. He was about to start a job in construction 3 weeks before he was going to start his construction job. He got a call from a junior college and ended up becoming a football player. Looks like a good decision. Third down and goal.
Man across the board. I'm looking for number 0.
Mond out of the pocket. He'll tuck it under, and he'll get to the pylon. And Texas A&M is a point after away from a tie.
Time by Kellen Mond.
And 93 touchdowns responsible for in the career of Kellen Mond. Tied for first in Texas A&M history with Johnny Manziel. Seth Small puts it through, and we're tied with just over 10 minutes to go.
It's a great drive by this Texas A&M offense. Then Kellen Mond realizing no one's got me. Let me use my athleticism, get to that front pylon, answer their touchdown. We got a tie game in the 4th.
Rated team. Only one more college football game left after tonight. It's a week from Monday in this very stadium, but at the end of what has been some kind of a college football adventure for these players and all of us, it's a good way to end it.
Hopefully next week matches up. This is a great game. 2 great programs that are very much so on the rise. Playmakers are making plays. We got a great 10 minutes left.
All right, if you're the Buckeyes, how do you stop this threesome?
Well, first of all, you've got to be physical at the line of scrimmage and try to get down to a quarterback that's been fantastic. And then don't get jumped over by 22. Najee's got these everything, you know, physical and strength and obviously athleticism. And who covers number 6? Who covers number 6 is going to be a big question. I think they're both incredibly well coached. Ohio State's got a really good defense, though. Really sound. We had them, right? Really sound defense. I think they're capable.
It's the national championship game presented by AT&T. Alabama, Ohio State next Monday, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, and we will have you covered on every platform, TV, radio, and digital. Back to the offense, North Carolina. 27-27 tie. Play action for Sam Howell. Steps up in the pocket. He wants another deep shot for Chopry Brown, and it's right through his hands. That looked like another perfect throw from Sam Howell, and Brown couldn't hold on.
Great formation. You get one-on-one. Watch Chopry Brown. Inside release. Now stem vertical. Stack that defensive back. It's an absolute perfect throw by Sam Howell, and he just doesn't watch it in. Watch, his head doesn't follow. His head's late, elbows separated. That's okay. He's gonna have to come back to him. You're Sam Howell. You're going, okay, I move on. I'm gonna have to make sure that I trust him to make the play if I have to go to him again.
Blitz off the edge. Howell has it knocked down. Antonio Johnson came on that nickel corner blitz and got the pass deflected. 3rd down and 10.
Watch Johnson, left side of the screen. Howell's trying to get that ball out to Josh Henderson, and it's a great job of Antonio Johnson realizing not getting home, get my hands up. 1, you got to be paying attention to Sam Howell's legs. 2, watch the offensive line. Are we going to be able to protect all the moving parts? Don't get overwhelmed, communicate great, and then find a one-on-one.
It's another blitz coming. As Newsome on the wide receiver screen. He's bottled up. He's thrown down. And it's going to be a 3 and out for North Carolina. Andre White made the stop.
That huge drop by Joffrey Brown could loom large. It's a really good job of A&M kind of anticipating that screen. Following that touchdown, that quick 3 and out, you get your offense back with the ball. Again, this is a efficient offense that can churn a ton of clock, and North Carolina's defense was just on the field.
End over end kick. Anaya Smith lets it bounce. It takes a Carolina roll out of bounds. Inside the A&M 30, they'll mark it out at the 28-yard line. But talk about the security blanket for a terrific play designer in Jimbo Smith in now really kind of the crucible moment of the game, right? 9 minutes to go, a tie game. You've got the long field out in front of you, but you send out the 4-year starter at quarterback.
Been there, you know, he's experienced this. The moment's not going to be too big for him. And Jimbo can just trust, okay, we're still going to go run our offense. There's a ton of time left. You just go execute, trust your eyes. You seem like these last 2 drives, you got into a little bit of a rhythm. Kellen's also done a fantastic job of nothing's there. Let me use my feet.
Isaiah Spiller is hurt. He is still over on the sideline. A-chain the tail back to the left of Mond. Play action. Kellen Mond under pressure. Forces one to the sideline looking for Weidermeyer. Pressure again from Vahasek.
It's a great throwaway by Kellen Mond. Watch this pressure. The internal Vahasek kind of sheds. Great coverage on the back end. And just that ability to get the ball away by Kellen Mond. I mean, that's a save of 5 or 6 yards. I call those hidden yards. You know, 2nd and 15, 2nd and 16, it's brutal. 2nd and 10, we got a chance because of the efficiency that we have on 3rd down.
Looked like A-chain was open. Should he have seen the check down there?
Well, I think like Kellen's going through that read of 1, 2 to 3 to 4, and check downs with man coverage are dangerous because there's always a defender lurking.
A-chain tries to get outside. It's a cutback crease. He picks up 4 yards. So here's a big play as we approach the midway point of the 4th quarter. It is going to be 3rd down and 6.
So North Carolina tonight has kind of won some of these downs with the pressure. They've brought pressure and they've dropped somebody into the easy answer. If you're Jimbo Fisher, can you get into a bunch concept or a trips concept? And hey, Kellen Mond, make sure we take our time, use our cadence, figure out where the pressure's coming from, and they get a concept running away from people. There you go, on the line of scrimmage.
Comes that blitz. Gets picked up. Mond over the middle. Into traffic, and Tony Grimes almost had a pick. Hezekiah Jones and Jalen Weidermeyer were right on top of each other. I can't believe that's not a route mistake by one or the other.
Getting squeezed in man coverage. First of all, it's a beautiful pickup by A-chain right here. Bop! And then look at those receivers too close to each other. That single receiver, Grimes. You see Grimes drop that pick. He squeezes that guy so far down, playing physical man coverage that the spacing disparity is not there. That's why they both kind of snap their routes off.
Constantino with a wobbly kick to the sideline. It goes out of bounds. This will be good field position for North Carolina with 8 minutes to go. Let's see where they'll have it. At their own 40-yard line when we come back.
You're paying too much, Chuck.
How good has Sam Howell been tonight? You saw it early on, the inside slot fade to Daz Newsome. Firm with the throw, incredible catch. I love this one to Downs. Watch the touch on the ball up over that trailing defender. And get outside the pocket. It collapses. Vision downfield. We talked about the big playmaking arm. Another bomb to Downs. Sam Howell is going to continue to be an aggressive quarterback. Such the talent for North Carolina's offense.
His numbers in the fourth quarter are amazing. 19 touchdowns, no picks. Normally when it is money time, Sam Howell shows up in the fourth quarter. And he's going to give one to British Brooks here. Brooks turns the corner and picks up about 5. This is the first time North Carolina in program history has ever faced 3 top 10 teams in the same season. Now check that. That only goes back to 2001. They have never beaten 2 top 10 opponents in 1 year, though.
Yeah, what did Mac Brown say? They've played 2, 5, and 10, 3 out of the last 4 weeks. We're trying to buy a house in the top 10 neighborhood, right? We're trying to prove that we belong in that conversation. Spread receivers right to the bottom of the screen. That space that's created.
Foul off play action. He's going to look deep again for Daz Newsome. Just off his fingertips. Flag down in the offensive backfield. And they're helping Howell up.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Defense, number 5, putting his body weight on the quarterback. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic. First down.
So Bobby Brown lands on Sam Howell on the rush, and it costs A&M 15 yards. I'm not sure what he's supposed to do.
Listen, it's a big hit by DeMarvin Leal. I'm an ex-quarterback. I hate that call. It's a good hit.
Well, the call wasn't on Leal for the hit. The call was on Bobby Brown for landing on the quarterback, but he's engaged with a blocker.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what he's supposed to do. That's an almost impossible penalty to avoid. A wide receiver screen to Josh Downs, and he is met. Amani Richardson comes up and gets a tackle for loss.
It's a great tackle in space. We've seen a lot of shots downfield in this fourth quarter from North Carolina's offense. They're putting those receivers really all the way to the boundary. And okay, if you're going to create the space and give us the one-on-ones, we're going to take those shots.
And in terms of the hidden yardage in the game, that personal foul on Texas A&M was the 4th on their defense tonight. They wanted the trick play. It wasn't there. British Brooks cuts it back. British Brooks was going to look for Daz Newsome. And he was going to try to flip it to Daz Newsome on the reverse. And Texas A&M blew it up.
That was an incredible play call by Phil Longo. It's there. If they don't get that penetration, it is there for a walk-in touchdown to the tight end. Okay, 3rd and 13. We've seen this is the pressure down by Texas A&M. We've talked about it. Communicate. I don't think you can throw another perimeter screen here. Center Brian Anderson pointing out.
Howell pumps once, under pressure. Now he's going down. McKinley Jackson, Jeremiah Martin, they were both there, all over Sam Howell. And this will be a punt now for North Carolina near midfield. And Ben Kiernan in Texas A&M deep. It's a rugby-style kick, and he is buying plenty of time before he pooches it. And Anaya Smith with a fair catch at the 13-yard line. Almost looked like he might take off and run with it.
Let's look at this blitz package though on third down. Okay, this is O'Neal. Watch this shallow cross. He's got vision right there. He's got to go from that backside safety all the way to the shallow cross because of the blitz package. Pickup number 3, Sam Howell wants to throw it to him. He's taken. That is really good discipline by Leon O'Neal of understanding I got to go from one side of the field all the way to number 3 with that back removing out of the backfield, and you get off that field. That's really good job of communication on the back end from A&M's defense.
5 minutes and 7 seconds to go. Texas A&M and North Carolina each with only one timeout left in a tie game. What a Capital One Orange Bowl this has been. The senior quarterback back to work. And he gives it to the true freshman running back. Achane picks up a couple on the dive forward. Eugene Asante grabbed him around the ankles. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
I love the patience by Jimbo Fisher in this offense. Very little panic. You see college offenses just go into panic mode right now. Okay, we got to do something crazy. Like, continue to do what you do well. Run your offense. Get into your formations. Trust your quarterback to get you in and out of the right plays.
Here comes a blitz. They'll swing it out to Achane. Speed to the sideline. Very close to a first down. He's got it.
And I think now for Jimbo Fisher, with that first down conversion, the mindset goes, we're either going into overtime or winning this game, right? Your goal is to just churn out this 4 minutes plus. And you're either going into overtime or we're going to try to get a kick to win the game unless that touchdown happens. But this is that long game-ending, season-ending, bowl-ending drive that they've become accustomed to throughout the regular season.
Achane whoppers out in front. Kept his balance, gets down the sideline. The sprinter in the open field, and no one's going to catch him. Touchdown. Dan, we have been talking all night about opportunity for the players on the North Carolina side with opt-outs and young players getting a chance to play. How about a true freshman running back in the absence of Isaiah Spiller gets his opportunity? And boy, what did he just do with it?
I love the contact balance, the speed, but it doesn't happen by himself. Okay, Weidermeyer is going to come around and seal on Asante. That's the first part of this play. This is a great job by this tight end. Awesome block. Now look at Anaya Smith blocking downfield. This is going to be great by Achane, the contact balance. Watch 0. You don't think this game matters to him right there? Blocking downfield to give him the ability to hit that home run. Really good job of Weidermeyer wrapping around, making that block. Anaya Smith blocking downfield. He's done everything tonight. And then you see the absolute home run speed by Achane.
And there's an assistant coach that recognizes how important that block was. There are as many pats on the back over on that A&M sideline for the blocks as they are for the touchdown run. But there's a lot of time still on the clock for Mr. Fourth Quarter. Sam Howell about to get the football back. He's got 3:44 to go.
Let's watch this angle for Weidermeyer on this pull block. Watch him, follow him, okay. Vision, vision, vision. Asante shows, bop! I mean, you talk about the ability to do both. Pass catch. Look at that balance by Achane, the contact. And that home run speed. That run had a little bit of everything. Really good blocking. Look at everyone knows it. That run was because of you. So often, It's a great run by the back, but it takes everybody to bust those.
And our graphic was incorrect. Each team does have their timeouts left, so a lot can happen in this last 3:44. They'll start with British Brooks. And a good run to begin for Brooks. He's out of bounds at the 33, maybe the 34-yard line. That's a 9-yard pickup on first down after we just had our 4th lead change of the game.
It's really going to be interesting to watch this A&M defense, right? Mike Elko, are you going to continue to put those corners on islands? The ball's been over your head 3 times for drops. Or are you going to make them methodically go down the field and not give them the chunk throws and make the quarterback play patient football?
Foul off play action. Floats one to the sideline, through the hands of Brooks. It'll be 3rd down and 1. And Mac Brown knows this team has been right here before. He said really the only game this season we got beat was Notre Dame. So that was a game, even these last couple of years, that was a game that we certainly lost decidedly. There have been a lot of close losses. And here's Brooks, 3rd down and short. He doesn't get there. 3 minutes to go. It'll be 4th down and 2, and now the decision for Mac Brown to go for it or to punt and use your timeouts.
You got punters, right?
It's 4th down and about 1.5 yards.
I mean, the only way you're going for this is if in your preparation there's a call that you absolutely love in 4th and 2 situations. Zone read, quarterback run.
Newsome in motion. Spinning, very close. Did Henderson get there? It looks like he's short. He will be marked down short. Texas A&M is about to take over on downs with 2:24 to go.
Watch this play by Bobby Brown. He's going to come all the way to the other side of the center, Anderson. Watch him scrape face, get bounced off, and that forces Henderson to kind of change his path. Finished by A&M's defense.
He's well short of the line to gain. They're going to run the chains out, but this is a formality. And where they put the football down, he's 1 yard short. This was not very close. And Texas A&M has the football with 2:24 to go. So Mac Brown rolled the dice, and Phil Longo dialed up the play on 4th down and short when they could have punted and tried to use timeouts and get the ball back.
Mac's been aggressive. Like they've been aggressive. They went for it on 4th down early in the first half. There's a little bit of a seam there. If Bobby Brown doesn't make that penetration, there's an opportunity for Henderson to go make that run. But now your defense has got to bow up. Have great eye discipline, commit to the run, and see if you can force a field goal out of A&M.
A-Chain bounces it outside. Gets to the sideline, and that should be good for a first down. Bumped out by Tony Grimes. But that will now roll the clock again. It's a fresh set of downs. And of course a field goal here. Even if now North Carolina gets a stop and they use their timeouts, a field goal makes it a 2-possession game. And that run took them from probably at best borderline field goal range to now comfortably inside the field goal range.
You don't really snap this ball till you see 2 on the clock. Kellen Mond knows that.
A-Chain. Another crease. Breaking tackles. Up, down to the 1-yard line. Cameron Kelly is hurt. He saved the touchdown, but it's 1st and goal, Texas A&M at the 1.
This offensive line is kind of just taking over. Watch the left side. Pass off. That's a great job again by Anaya Smith coming down on that safety. It's incredible effort by Cameron Kelly to sell out and make this tackle. But you talk about one of the best offensive lines in college football, kind of taking this game, certainly these last 2 drives, over.
Well, while they tend to the injury on the field, a reminder, SportsCenter with Scott Van Pelt is standing by. He will have Capital One Orange Bowl winning coverage. The winning coach will be on his show. Plus more of college football's worst bad beats of 2020. Close games for North Carolina and Texas A&M hoops as well. Plus a college basketball worst. It's SportsCenter with SVP. After college football coming up next, right here on ESPN and the ESPN app. That's good to see Cameron Kelly able to walk off.
A-Chain 5'9", right? But he's running hard he's 185 pounds, but for a guy that doesn't, I guess he's not known for his size. Like, he's bouncing off tackles. He's got great, keep calling it contact balance. He stepped in for Isaiah Spiller, and he's made some physical, tough runs. Now it becomes the thought process of, do you let him score? Right? I mean, you go down to a 2-possession game, but you only have 2 timeouts left if you're North Carolina. So
your only chance here is to rip the ball out.
Right. But
you're down 2 touchdowns.
Right. But
even with your 2 timeouts left and a minute 35 or so on the clock, I mean, that's an impossible ask. I would think to score, onside kick, score again, you probably have a better chance to just ask your guys to go out there and try and knock the ball out and hope for a miracle.
But the same thing, like if you're Jimbo Fisher, you might just be taking a knee right now. You might just be taking a 1st and 2nd down knee, let them stop the clock. 3rd down, you take another knee.
And then kick a field goal.
Yeah,
you could
make
do
it a
that.
10-pointer, but I think he'll run his offense. I think they'll try to go pound that offense. If you're North Carolina, I think you got to let them score and hope that you can score twice in 90 seconds.
Chain, and he is in for the touchdown. So it's a 2-touchdown lead for Texas A&M now with 1.5 minutes to go.
The leadership of Kellen Mond shows up with some clutch plays for the last 2 drives, and then that run game, that offensive line, A-Chain, just look at the push by the right side, the strain, and then again, don't dance. North and south, find that hole, puts his head down, watch, puts his head down and just goes, I'm going. He's had an outstanding 4th quarter stepping in for Isaiah Spiller.
It's a 14-point lead. Isaiah Spiller goes out with an injury. And a freshman, Devon Chain, is given the opportunity by Jimbo Fisher to be the bell cow. And in the second half, boy, oh boy, has he answered that call. The go-ahead touchdown from 76 yards was the play of the game. But he's made other impact plays as well.
And that guy congratulating right there, Anaya Smith, has been a big part of why he's popped some of those runs in this 4th, but his leadership, we talked about poise, panic, some clutch throws.
So it comes out to the 25-yard line for North Carolina. But the problem in the second half, certainly in the 4th quarter, was they have not been able to get this true freshman on the ground.
It's a great lead block by the tight end, but look at that. That's that balance. Put that hand down and then talked about his speed all game, Bob. Just that length and then the physicality. Put your head down and go finish that run to make it a 2-possession game. And now you're 90 seconds away from capping off an incredible season and capping off an incredible career for your quarterback.
Sam Howell to Garrett Walston.
If you're North Carolina right now and Sam Howell, this is when the ball's got to go in harm's way. You're going to have to try to create some chunks real quickly. If you catch the ball and you're near the out of bounds, you get out of bounds. Don't try and get extra yardage.
Over the middle, it's Josh Downs. With the first down, that will stop the clock for the moment.
You got to play with crazy tempo. If you catch the ball inside the numbers, get yardage. Outside the numbers, get out of bounds. The clock is huge right now.
He's out of the pocket. It's one of the sideline incomplete.
If you're Texas A&M defensively, you're just making sure everyone ball stays in front. You can give up a ton of completions here. You're just trying to make sure this clock gets run out as quickly as possible. The ball doesn't go over your head.
Three-man rush. How? He will be sacked. Tyree Johnson throws him down. And that forces North Carolina to use timeout number 2.
Watch the left side of the screen. Tyree Johnson, just speed. Just absolute speed around Richards, that left tackle. Forces North Carolina to use that last timeout. This defense is bowed up. When they've needed to, they've bowed up here late in this football game. Now,
and their offense has 24 points in the fourth quarter. That's the most in an Orange Bowl since Oklahoma back in 1958. So when their offense was put in a spot where, you're right, Kellen Mond and the run game had to get it done, they got it done.
I think like North Carolina's defense hung on, right? They played so well and they hung on as long as they could, but that physicality kind of showed up for the A&M offense. And to be honest, like 2 drops for the North Carolina offense crushed them. We saw one to Chaufrey Brown and one to Daz Newsome that really hurt their offense in the fourth quarter.
So needing 2 touchdowns with only 1 timeout left. Al extending the play, somehow stays on his feet. Tyree Johnson couldn't bring him down at first. Now he gets another opportunity along with Andre White. And it's another Texas A&M sack.
I love the effort by both teams. I love the effort by the Texas A&M defensive line. It'd be easy for defensive linemen to just kind of lay off a little bit as the water's getting searched for Jimbo. And then Sam Howell just not giving up.
So no timeouts left for North Carolina. 4th down and a mile. And 37 seconds away from Kellen Mond and Texas A&M on the strength of this fourth quarter, becoming champions of the Capital One Orange Bowl.
And I said it at the beginning of the game. Kellen Mond said this game was the opportunity for them to stamp their names as one of, if not the best Texas A&M team ever. Because of the all-SEC schedule and the 7-game winning streak to end the season. Getting to 9-1. Probably going to finish in the top 4 of the final ranking, obviously. It's a strong resume.
Howell over the middle. Daz Newsome brought down well shy of the line to gain. That is a turnover on downs, and it will be victory formation for Texas A&M. The clock continues to run, but it should have stopped About 10, 12 seconds ago on the change of possession. Doesn't matter.
Clock to 31 seconds. That was a 4th down play. The clock should have stopped at the end of the play.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as
31 seconds.
North Carolina's out of timeouts, so it will be victory formation for Texas A&M. And you know, when we talked to Jimbo Fisher earlier this week, and the natural question, Katie George talked to him about it as well, how is your team going to respond? You were bitterly disappointed to be left just on the outside looking in that 5 spot. And he didn't have any concern that his team wasn't going to come out and be ready to play tonight. And they certainly answered that call as they are champions of the Capital One Orange Bowl.
I love that shot of Kellen Mond. Look at Jimbo.
Trying to stay away. He's going to stay dry.
Well, speed.
He did. He turned on, got an extra gear to make sure he didn't end up under the Gatorade bath.
Trying to be respectful to Mac. That's good.
Well, these are two coaches that have a genuine affection for each other. You can tell when they talk to each other and about each other, they are both on each other's favorite list.
I'd say my favorite list. I mean, look at this embrace, man. This is good stuff. This is what that coach, mentor, look at the emotion that they're both sharing. Remember, Jimbo comes there, Kellen's a highly recruited guy, takes him on this journey, the work that's been put together.
You know, Kellen Mond has accepted an invitation to go to the Senior Bowl, but there is an extra year of eligibility next year for any player that wants it. He didn't totally close the door on the idea that he might come back. Imagine if this group all came back and ran it back again.
It'd be a problem.
They would be a big problem. 41-27 is your final. Texas A&M wins the Capital One Orange Bowl. Stay tuned. The trophy ceremony here at the Capital One Orange Bowl is coming up. But right now, it's time for Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt. We'll be back with more coverage soon. SVP?
Bob, thank you. Welcome in. This is Sports Center. I'm Scott Van Pelt, greeting you from our nation's capital, back to Miami.